All right, guys. Well, we are live. So, welcome back. This is episode 8 of Let's Hash It Out. So, grab your popcorn, grab a good place to sit, and enjoy. So, today we got a few guests. Let's see. Let's get them all up here. We got us Javier, Clint Westwood, and Steak. Steak, you did want to begin with a disclaimer, if you will. So, and I
Yeah, just a
appreciate
little
that.
kickoff. Yeah, I'm a little bit high on energy, so I just thought I'd get that out of the way first. Kind of to set the tone or set the mood a little bit, if you will. Sorry for that synopsis briefly, but I want to take you on my journey. So, it came to my attention, and I haven't looked into it yet because it came to my attention just very recently that there was a little bit of a drama with the last, qubit live stream that we did, where something was supposedly said, and then someone that took that to, Change Angel, and then Change Angel came, and things had to be, rectified and addressed. And I want to make a disclaimer for that. I'm going to do it once. I'm not going to do it every single live stream, but I just want to say that if you want to be fucking retarded, but leave me out of it. And I think that's a great disclaimer. Do some critical thinking and work on your listening skills. That counts for me as well. On the other hand, we're all human. We all make flaws, so I get it. But I think it's a very female thing to go with something that isn't correct and post it to someone else and look, hey, look what they said. And then the other guy goes, oh, really? They said that? So, get your testosterone levels checked, throw your handbags out of the windows, please, get that wig sorted on top of your head, maybe get your knickers a little bit in a bunch, and stop doing that. And if you can't stop doing that, no worries, just leave me the fuck out of it. I wasn't part of the conversation, but I think that kind of wraps up the internet for now. And for the rest, welcome everyone. If you're a retard, no worries, I still love you. If you want to stay a retard, that's cool too. I like retards, it's my work. But if you don't, then work on yourself. And if you don't know how to work on yourself, I can help you with that too. That's my work as well. And otherwise, just leave me the fuck out of it. Thanks. Cheers. Love. Okay, that was it. How did I do, Dave?
Yeah, that pretty much summed it up. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks. All right. Cheers to that.
Salud.
So let's talk about Shitty Bite while we're at it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, and it's not because I didn't got late today, but it doesn't help. So let's just start there. Yeah, let's call it the way it is. Let's call a spade a spade. So one of the things that I'm annoyed about, and the list is long, but I'll pick one, is that Digibyte right now is just it kind of get me worked up with the fact that a lot of things that are being built aren't really being transparent about. And I think that people that are investing in it aren't being taken seriously. So if you want to have a fucking retarded disclaimer about that for next space, be my fucking guest. I stand by my words. I don't think we're being treated in a manner that's very genuine, very sincere. And I would like people that are building in this space, whether that's DigiCorp Labs, whether that's DigiByte Alliance, whether that's DigiAsset X, to always just remember that we're dealing with a crowd of retail investors here that's smarter than your average bunch of citizens and have a much better sense of morality and a much better sense of understanding what you're doing behind the scenes than probably more than you think we do. And I would say trust us in the fact that yes, even if you have signed an NDA, you can actually trust the public to grow this place organically. But if there is no transparency, if there is no genuine interest or sincere interest, you will never have the trust with the community to grow this project and actually get it off where it should go. And that's okay if the timing is wrong. I get it. You can address it. That's okay. But don't play us for a fool that we're going to get marketing ploys while we're not ready yet. Just say we're not ready yet. We'll be ready when we're ready, and leave it with that. And any other remark will be fine. But it's that kind of thing that pisses me off, and I think it's totally unnecessary. Plus, it also costs a lot of money to keep putting bullshit in the ether. So, give us something to work with, and thank you for your service. That's it. So yeah, I wanted to start with that. I think I kept it pretty nice, apart from a few too much retards in the disclaimer. But you know, it
Well,
is
as
what
I
it is.
stated in the previous video, there seems to be just more Asperger's and Tourette's. So, you know, again, different things
Yeah,
were
I thought
taken
the
out.
IQ dropped
Different things
below
were
83.
heard that were not said, and it's like, no, here's the actual time. Here's the time of when it was said. That was not said.
Yeah,
So,
Well,
I guess,
my
you know,
big
the,
it is
question.
what we addressed. We addressed it in the first 5 minutes, I think. And I know Javier and
right.
Clint. I've
I'm
been
already,
taking space. I'm sorry,
No
but
problem. You go
maybe you
for it.
want some last parting words, and then we can give it an amen and actually kick this off.
yeah, but I just wanted to address that and also to Matthew Cornelius as well as to Change Angel. I posted a tweet. The link is in the tweet. Y'all join us if you care to join, and let's hash it out.
Jared Tate should be invited too if he is willing to come in and isn't busy chasing balloons. Um, my thing is, put it this way: we're a group of guys that are just out here trying to learn the system. We get together, we ask questions, and if we're not getting the answers, then we will scratch and look under every rock to get that answer because we are
Yeah,
invested. We are financially invested in your project. And so you may know where it's going and your group may know where you think it's going, but we have the right to investigate. And if we don't have any kind of narrative, well, we'll bring up our own narrative of what we have done through our own studies,
Well, let's
right, wrong,
analyze
or
this just for a
otherwise.
second.
It's your choice.
well,
Let's
well,
analyze this
it's
just for a second. So let's say that you own a business, right? You own a business, and you're you're breadwinner for not just one but several. Your breadwinners find out that you're closing the doors. Not by a phone call or reaching out to them individually, but finding out secondhand, through a tweet and heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend that you've been messing around. It's just fucking REO Speedwagon syndrome bullshit. I mean, it's grade school bullshit. I mean, pick up the phone. I mean, reach out
Or
to the
come hash
people.
it out.
Well, the
I,
thing
I
that's the part that I say was a dick move. I do believe that was a dick move.
yeah.
That
I think
these other people
Dave,
should have found out directly, not
Dave. You say dick move, I say retard. I think we mean the same thing, but even if it's a retard dick move, I still think that it's human to make mistakes. I make mistakes too. We all do. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. I sometimes put relay shit. I've done that. I've relayed shit in the last 3 years to some people, like two or three. I relayed a lot of shit. And I've had two or three things where I sent misinformation because I didn't fact check it correctly, and then other people freaked out a little bit, but I owned up to it. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't. I had to do more due diligence. I didn't. In the heat of the moment, I just, posted it through, reposted it, and I shouldn't have done that. And this is how it actually is. So you lead up to the mess you made digitally, and you say, sorry that you hear this, but it was wrong. And you can be diligent in that too, right? People will respect that, but own up to it, and then it's okay. And if you don't do that, then it kind of lingers, and then we have to deal with the outfall of it. Is that the correct word? The outfall. Yeah. I'm actually better when I'm angry in Dutch, so yeah, I should maybe do that.
We're gonna
But
go Dutch,
yeah,
kind of like the date.
bear with
We'll
me.
go Dutch.
Yeah, we'll go Dutch.
All right. You can tell them a
well,
dad.
Double
and
Dutch.
a few other things
Double
that
Dutch
were
bus.
mentioned that were just totally taken out of context. I mean, it's really no sweat off my balls. I really don't give a shit, but I should just address it in that V1, V2, and V3 assets to be backwards compatible. That's exactly what the fuck I said. I mean, I asked it. I phrased it in a question. So that's exactly what I said. And I clear the air. Come on, join the channel. Let's hash it out. The link is out there on Twitter.
You know what I
So
don't get?
join the
You know
space
what I don't get?
and let's go line by line with this.
You know what I don't get is if you are building a great product and you're doing something awesome with a blockchain product like Digibyte, you kind of want to make money, and by making money in this space, you kind of want to do marketing. But there is no marketing, and the marketing that is done is poorly executed. But it's done poorly executed by people that actually give it their heart and soul. So it raises the question for me too. Two questions. Either they're not up to the standard yet of knowing how to do marketing. That's fair. I mean, we're amateurs on a live stream on YouTube as well. I'll be very honest, very bluntly, and there's a lot to learn for us as well with doing these things. But on the other hand, if that isn't the case because we're smart individuals and there is no growth in it, then I would argue that is it by purpose that we keep things small in the community, that we always churn out news in the community instead of outside of the community. So we never grow our numbers, we only establish our current base. And it's such a retarded fucking position to take. And every person that I meet that I think is genuine is actually telling other people, whether that's in real life or whether that's on Twitter Spaces or Telegram or Clubhouse or wherever, or Reddit, wherever the fuck you are. But our socials seem to be dead from another perspective. And then I'm like, is it then by design that you do that you keep it small in the community? And that's weird as well, because if you're building something, you eventually want to make money and you want to have more volume and liquidity. But what we see on the chain is that by the low price, actually big wallets are massively, gathering more and more and stacking more and more digibytes. So apparently the people that actually own a fucking stake in this, no pun intended, they actually think, well, I want to increase my position. Based on what fucking knowledge do they want to increase their position? And if it's the knowledge that we have, we get it. But apparently, retail isn't so important for the people that are making the supposedly hypothetical decisions. Then, and if that's the case, if retail isn't important, but enterprises are, you're kind of going to lose your community. And if you lose the connection with the community because there is no genuine, sincere interest and no trust because of a lack of transparency, then I wonder what the fuck we're doing here. Really, honestly, because you can eventually have a great product, but is it then going to be a rule by decree that we say, oh, we're all going to be enforced on this shit? Trust me on one thing, then we got enough garbage to tell the people like, fuck this. Just fuck this.
And here's a big question, Steak.
And I don't think that's very beneficial to either. So I'm just going to say, pay us, fuck you.
Well, and let me ask you this: how decentralized is something that is indirectly being controlled or stifled, which seems to be stifled?
Look at the SATs
and that's where it's been a big frustration on my part.
Javier, look at the SATs of Digibyte in SATs from 2017 to now. Can you pull up the chart, Dave? Is that possible? Maybe in a half a minute of Digibyte in relation to BTC. Like
all I can tell you this,
I can tell you one 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, let me just tell you this, Steak. I bought in 17, and there has been so much more development, so much more growth in it. And people probably know less about it now than they knew then.
And it's
worth a lot less now.
Yeah. You make a good point, Javier. I just want to show the elephant in the room, like a visual. For those of you that are not aware of this, and even if you are, you're going to like this argument. You're really going to like this. And Dave's almost there. He's on Digibyte. We're going to compare it to BTC. We're going to leave him at it. He's working on it. And compare that. And you're right. They did build a lot more, Javier.
Yeah, and nobody knows. Put it this way: with a very small amount of news, we used to move the market. And not that I'm interested in selling or buying, but I do understand that somehow some people have indirectly control. And my question is, how decentralized is something if people can withhold information to withhold the growth? And I don't know that that's happening. I'm just
26.
Right.
assuming because I
I
don't
can
have any
see
other
the.
information.
Sorry for cutting you off, Javier. That
No
isn't
problem.
very it's not really
No, no,
respectful
no.
of
I
me,
do
but
it
I
all the
see
time
Dave
to you.
pointing to the. See Dave pointing to the 26 SATs. That's correct. That's what it is right now. But can you show a graph of the SATs
Now the
between now,
Bitcoin to
recent
digibyte
times with Bitcoin?
ratio.
Yeah, of like the last 6 years or maybe 10 years, if that's possible. Not, yeah, we're almost 10 years in. But
Yeah.
show the graph. That's just market cap. I don't know if it's possible on this website.
Yeah, I know you can do it on CoinGecko. I mean, you can go out there and click BTC ratio to whatever coin as opposed to US dollar. But I'm sure they can do it. You can probably do it on here. It's just finding it. There's a lot of tools
Yeah,
on here.
exactly. Finding it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, that will. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah,
Is it?
this
Is
is
it
in
one of
price.
the? Yeah, it's not like. Isn't it pricing and there's one under it? So you got market.
should be a,
You got that folded out market, and there's 12 under market, but it only shows 5 because there's subfolders under market.
yeah. I see what you're saying, Steak. Under market, there's that carrot that you can turn.
Yeah. So
And
you were right where you were, Dave.
Yeah, I think you were right where you were. There might have been a subfolder or something underneath even. Go into market.
And it says pricing, and then there was one subfolder. Maybe there's pricing in Bitcoin.
Okay, wait. That's different.
Yeah, that one where you are right now, market is folded out. Your left menu on the left-hand side, the second one is folded out. It says all charts and then market. That's where you are right now. Yes, and then you've got and one down pricing. Can you click on that? And then see if we open up a screen where we can do price in BTC instead of dollar. Is that possible? Anyway.
Sure, it is.
No,
Yeah,
because the dollar's everything. Didn't you hear? It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's going up.
The dollar's everything. Pricing power in the dollar is going up. That's why Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte are so low because the dollar is so strong. You should
We
take
need to
the
print
strong
more.
assets and exactly print some more. Strengthen the dollar. Print more. Raise interest rates. Print more. You see the dichotomy there?
No, I'm not able to get to it right now.
No. If you go to CoinGecko, you can do it. I mean, it might not be as accurate. I mean, but it'll still, you know what I mean? You might not have as many tools, but if you go to CoinGecko and click on Digibyte, and then you can click off the US dollar price on the chart and then click on the BTC and I think Ethereum too, but we don't care about that. We're talking BTC. We're talking sats. That's the question.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it by heart and make the argument. In 2017, it was like 22,500, and right now it's 26.
I mean, that's amazing.
So it did a negative 100x in the last 6 years, and they built everything. They're forward thinking. Almost everything except UI is done. It's like mind blowing where it's positioned with everything it has, and it has 26 SATs. So, from an investment point of view, you would say great product, great fundamentals, very low volume in SATs. What's happening on chain? You look on chain, and all these big wallets, they're accumulating. All these big exchanges and big guys are accumulating. Why? Because they fucking love the product and it's dirt fucking cheap. 26 SATs, it was 2,500 in 2017. So instead of growth in price, can you imagine even if it would have done 1,000 SATs? Even if because Bitcoin obviously moves more, I get it. But can you imagine like doing a 40x just having the normal? Even more than that, we can do 100x and we would just have the price of 2017. We would just do 100x and have 2017. We wouldn't have the current. Wouldn't have the current price. And Bitcoin
crazy.
is still fucking low as well. Bitcoin hasn't even run yet. It is crazy, Clint, and he's moving away a little bit. But I just think it's one big bull flag, and I just wonder when the bullshit is gonna stop. Like when are the shenanigans gonna stop?
let me ask you another question. How likely is it that they made a lot of money back in the early days, and now they're just riding this white pole? Because I was there
Now,
when Digibite ran up.
why wouldn't they quit it? If they made a lot of money, why wouldn't they quit it?
Because greed, dude. This is a transfer of wealth.
No, because the
Pro-
project that they're invested in, the project that they're working with, I think they've already started that in ever since the chain opened in 2014 with Bittrex, and I think that's when they already started building shit. A lot of things happened in 2013. We also had the Self-Sovereign Act in the EU with a 1.3 billion grant in euros. That's actually houses a few projects among others like I don't know, self-sovereign EU, which has Freefold and Nebula working on it with Eclipse and Gaia. Probably names you never heard of, but it's they've been working on shit. And Digibyte is, I think, the only proof of work UTXO blockchain of the Freefold Web3 grid. So I think it's pretty relevant. And then you see some interaction between Freefold and Digibyte in Digi3, which is a company created, which also sells on and created with the owner of LCX in it, Monty Metzger, which is just funny as fuck because LCX is an exchange in Liechtenstein that ties into Swiss banking. And it's also the only exchange that's actually been through SEC compliance with the lawsuit of SEC versus Wahi. So it's both SEC compliant, and if it gets CFTC compliance, then we got the Commodity and the Security Exchange Commissions both saying let's roll with this. And then we got a global compliant exchange with a global compliant Web3 client that has a cybersecurity element to it with 501c3 with the Digibyte Alliance. Phenomenal. Then we don't need venture capitalists, we don't need ICOs, but I think for a 501c3, you kind of also need retail to use your shit. And if you're shitting on retail and you don't really take them serious, then why the fuck are we here? What are we doing? So
my question
give us a
again,
nugget.
Steak. My question again: How decentralized are we?
We're not.
It's just thank you.
If you can,
I need someone else.
If you can repress the community, if you can repress the price, if you can make sure that large parties can accumulate because you don't care about poverty and you don't care about wealth inequality, then fuck right off where you came from.
That's
because
what I
you're in the wrong
wanted.
place.
I wanted someone else to say this because I've been saying it. How decentralized are we? If there are people that can manipulate, and they're going to go, no, we don't. Well, no, we don't. Wait. Where's all the attention? Where's all the videos? Dave has been asking, hey, I'll help anybody create their own thing. I think we have one or two spaces that I know of Digibyte that I could actually go to. That I've been thrown off, probably rightfully so, thrown off of those spaces, and I don't care. But it's for asking questions like I ask here. I'm not afraid to ask the question. I'm not the tech guy, but I do want things to make sense between some of the people that are supposedly important in the community. And when I start seeing other people suffer and other people's work suffer because people have decided, or they just don't have the energy. They
what
don't
the problem
have
is, Javier?
whatever. They're busy doing something else.
You know what the risk is?
It pisses me
off.
What
what the actual risk is? It pisses me off as well. The actual risk is that someone in the community will at some point be so fed up and impatient with everything that they're gonna fork this shit. Then what?
Well, you know what?
The fuck
Steak,
are you talking about? What the fuck?
No, seriously. I don't necessarily.
Don't say that word.
Look, I'll be very honest. I don't want it, but I get it.
Hey, I wouldn't. You know what? Put it this way. Let's let the best man win. And we've seen it way too many times.
Digicash. Is that where we're going?
I don't know.
I think we're going with Digi Jared Tate's vision.
Oh my God.
Clingy maybe. I don't know what the hell. Clingy coin.
Damn.
Or DCH? No.
No. Hey, you know what?
What about Shitty Byte?
Shitty bite.
The issue with any fork,
Shitty.
right?
It's a
If you were
shit
gonna
coin.
issue
It's a shit fork. It's shitty bite. People will buy it. We'll meme the
Yes,
fuck
they
out of
will
it.
buy it.
Yes.
Well, add
Make
a
it,
zero.
first
make it
of
a
all,
rainbow,
we get-
make it a rainbow S with a
So, you know, if you
poo
got one, you get
emoticon.
10. Just add a zero
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
All right,
just make more.
All right.
The issue with forking
Enough of that.
is that how are you going to fix what still needs to be developed, like 8.2?
Oh, you don't need to
like
fix it.
Rosetta, like
You don't need to fix it.
that are coming about.
You know,
you
know the
still
beautiful
have
thing.
those issues. Even if you go back to a previous version of Digibyte and fork from that version, you still have the current issues of today.
No, not really. The beautiful thing is if you actually market it and you let it bloom, you'll actually have the money to pay some developers to genuinely make Shitty Byte a better coin.
Thank you. Yes, you know what? That totally makes sense to me because here it is. It's a matter of competition.
No, it doesn't make sense
And the
to me,
worst case,
Javier.
worst
I'm
case
just being a
scenario.
fucking moron
No,
here.
no, no.
Let's
But worst
see.
case
We can do
scenario,
the same thing with
we're
Digibyte,
even
but
with
we're not
Shitty
doing it. We're not doing it. We're creating
Yeah,
a
I'm ready.
501c3 that can be tax deductible
I'm
for development or for
ready to
educational.
throw that
You know,
money out.
yeah. Well, you lost a lot of weight there,
Well,
Javier.
Well,
So
and
it's just
also to Javier's
Come
point,
on.
to Javier's point that he said, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. Well, how decentralized was Bitcoin in 2013 when Jared had to get kicked out of the forums in order to begin
yeah,
Digibyte?
There you go.
we once I once speculated
So
it's
tell
actually
me
not
that
Jared Tate.
Bitcoin is
Did you
more
know that?
decentralized.
I agree with you, Snake.
We're
No.
We're going
You,
down the
you were
rabbit
saying
hole
something.
now.
I
We're
was
going down
cutting
the
you
rabbit
off.
hole. Take it,
That
Steak.
Bitcoin was more decentralized. Yeah, I'll leave the tantrum
Here
for
we
some
go.
other time. But you know,
Now,
you're
bring
right,
something
Dave.
positive into it, Clint. Let's have a holy prayer and go into
Hey,
some other. Like I said, put it this way: we are
Church
all
of Clint.
holders of Digibyte, and I
Yes,
want
we all
everybody
are.
in the community. We
Big
all hold
holders.
Digibyte, and we
Yeah.
all want the best for Digibyte.
Otherwise,
We all
if we
have the
didn't
best
care-
intentions for Digibyte, but we do have unanswered questions. And if we have
Well-
unanswered questions, it's because the community has decided, or when we go into these spaces, none of this is brought up, and we want answers. 822. I don't even know what the shit's about, but they were talking about this shit a year ago, and they keep telling
brace,
us it's
Javier,
on its fucking
no,
way.
Javier. Javier, the
I
only
don't
thing
know.
you need to do is brace for impact. Well, I've been standing bent over for 2 years now, Rudy. I'm still bracing for impact. When is it coming? When is it being
Yeah.
shoved into me?
I got my athletic supporter
And
on.
actually,
I'm
it's
ready.
not
I'm ready for the impact.
Actually, it's not Jared Tate. It's Jared C. Tate. So I was wondering, is the C, does that stand for Clint or Cupcake?
Or Clint. Yeah, I don't know.
Could be Clint. I don't know.
was
Yeah,
going to
I
say
don't know.
something different, but no, I can't. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
no.
that.
Oh, come on now. No more.
You
Yeah,
can give me
we
the
are all
disclaimer,
over.
Dave.
No,
This is your channel, Dave. Look what you
yeah,
did.
you can do what you want to
Look
do.
what you're responsible for.
Hey, I'm just here for the
I gave a
entertainment. I'm here to
disclaimer though
drink.
at the start, didn't I?
I got an excuse
I
to
did
come
give
out
a
to the bar.
disclaimer.
That's all
I did
do.
give
got
a
an excuse
disclaimer.
to drink.
Sorry,
You
Father,
did
I've sinned.
You did disclaim. You know, you put it out there. I have disclaimed.
No, that wasn't very nice to go with.
Yeah,
ad
you
hominems
said
about
you
people.
didn't get
I
laid. You
but,
said
you
you
know,
had problems.
Yeah, it's the blue balls
I
and
totally
the blue B
understand.
in the top corner. So it's probably, I've got some mental reference to that. Freud was right
You've got
anyway.
way too much testosterone. You need to go take care of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna work out in a minute, but I'm just
go
fed
to
up with
go to a
this
dairy farm. You know. That's
shit. Yeah,
if you
Milk
get
some
milk
steak.
out of the one, teat on the other.
That's a bull, sir.
You might not be
Oh,
milking
shit.
the right cow.
In what direction is this going to? Something's in that fluoride in that water. Something's going wrong here.
Yeah, I
No,
think
you
they
know
changed
what?
the lithium levels.
Let's get into hashing it out, and let's bring it into other. There's still some news out
Lord
there.
Almighty.
At least if we can
That
have
we're
some
going
laughter
across.
over it.
We got to laugh.
You know
at
what?
That's the thing. There's a fine line between comedy and tragedy. You know, there really is.
This for sure.
There really is. So we'll just leave it at that.
And this is just guys talk, and I mean, at least we're saying it. Like, at least we're fucking saying it. Everyone is thinking it. We're just addressing the elephant in the room.
Whatever. Throw it out there. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's not like we're influencers. It's not like, a lot of people are going to go out and make decisions based on us. I mean,
Hopefully not.
Hope not.
I just don't understand how someone can listen to 7 fucking seconds out of 2.5 hours and think that they heard something.
They have the attention of a goldfish.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Clint.
Clippers
those
have
are,
11 seconds.
but in all honesty, when I smoke a little bit of weed
Let's,
and then maybe I drink a little bit of whiskey and I'm tired after hard days of work and I have to listen to fucking steak rambling on and on and on, I get tired and I probably forget something in 7 seconds too. I wouldn't be too hard on it.
no,
It
and
is
like
what
I
it is.
said, hey, Clint, let's throw.
Yeah,
We're on a roll. Let's throw Litecoin under the. No, just joking.
yeah. Let's
I don't
do
know
it.
what the hell.
Hey, let's look at the Litecoin to Bitcoin chart since
What's
we're
happening
turning.
Hey,
there?
I'm ready to go there. I'm very
Are you
It's
having
the same
disappointed.
thing. It
Are
really
you
Put
is
it
the
having
this
same
fun?
way:
thing.
I think the last time I saw it was 400 to 1.
Oh,
Bitcoin to was the last time I looked at it? It was 400 to 1.
and what's your
A
gut
transfer.
feeling on that? What's your gut feeling on that when you see
My
that?
my gut feeling: if you want to make money, go trade your Bitcoin, get you some
Right.
Litecoin. It
It's
will go
stupid.
back to 200 to 1, easy,
Yeah. I
easy.
mean that's nothing. It was
That's
just
a
there.
no-brainer.
I mean,
You
and so
double your money.
listen,
You've got.
unless it's going to zero, unless Litecoin's going to
Well,
zero and it's going to go defunct, after 12 years of running nonstop, never been down, unless that happens and the whole network shuts down, then that's a bad investment. If not, you look at that and you say, holy crap, that ratio.
That
The
ratio's
ratio.
incredible,
I was
dude.
thinking of my weight. My weight shows out of rack. What? No. So what I'm saying is that ratio is so far out of whack that. Sorry, getting a little too far on the comedic tragic side. I don't know which side, but anyway,
Well, I'm glad we're rubbing off on you, Clint.
yeah, but I mean, it's so far out of whack, like the gold silver ratio gets. When it gets to
Thank you.
100 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold, and you start thinking, man, I mean, I can get 100 of these, and then one of these. Oh, man, just trading. And I know where you're coming from, Dave, as far as if you're buying it new, I get the whole markup and all that. But say there's no markup, and you look at it, you can trade, and I get 1 ounce of gold, and I get 100 ounces of silver. And I think there's a lot more upside potential. And it's the same with Bitcoin to Litecoin right now. If you can get 400 Litecoin for 1 Bitcoin, I mean, to me, if you're just looking at it from a pure investment speculation, dollar standpoint, I mean, unless Litecoin goes to zero, that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
is.
you're safe. I mean, you're as safe as you possibly could be with 3 of the coins that have been chosen by PayPal and the government and everybody else.
So what you're saying it's not Litecoin but Rightcoin.
Litecoin is the right coin.
Yeah, put it this way.
Wait, maybe we could call it Greg Rightcoin. No, just kidding.
Craig
But
Rightcoin. Craig Litecoin.
So in the coin that begins with a D, I don't want to mention it and stir steak back up, but in that honesty, exactly. No, in that frame, we are still seeing it in other coins also, like Litecoin. I can't understand, and don't tell me it's because the dollar's stronger and all the maxis, the
maxipats,
the Bitcoin maxis tell me, well,
the Bitcoin
the dollar tells you that it's a lot strong. No, the dollar tells me that it's the one most manipulated by your fucking little buddies, Sailor, and anybody else that just joined the group that were bad investors in the beginning and now all of a sudden are superstars in this community. All I want to know is why the hell.
The thing is, if you want to be a superstar and you have money, you can be. But most smart, rich people don't want the fame associated with the money. The thing is, you don't want the fame. That's the negative connotation of getting wealthy, because it's usually toxic. And
let's throw other coins under the bus.
Unless you have a very big ego.
And my point is, Litecoin went down. Why did Litecoin go down? Why are we improving? Like I mentioned it. Go take a look. The day that MWeb came out, Litecoin went down. No reason. That's a reason for it to skyrocket. What we are having is a group of people that are controlling. Are they mixed with the people inside those coins? I don't know.
By the narrative, I don't know. You sell the news. But the thing is, after that, you expect for market adoption. And, that didn't happen.
How could there be market adoption with this manipulation?
Javier, to everyone that's listening, we're on a timeline here. Once regulation shit hits,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. This is not allowed anymore. It's actually illegal. So what they're doing right now is legal, but it's still fuckery. And when
Yeah.
the regulation hits, it's illegal. And
I
maybe, hopefully, we'll one day have someone in politics that says, in hindsight, it was illegal. Wouldn't that be fun? If someone, I don't know, someone in this space would go into politics and says, I don't know, maybe in hindsight it was illegal. Wouldn't you love a politician that does that, that says, I'm just going to clean up the bastards? And for those of you
Lock them
listening,
up.
I would
Round
say,
them up.
for those of you listening, let's all apply for politics. Let's just do that. Let's
But
just
before
see
that,
where.
And you know
Let's
what?
just see where we get
let's
shot.
have one more run. Let's have one more
Fuck
run
that
up,
shit.
and you all need to go get a Pope mobile
No,
to
but
fucking protect y'all's fucking
But
ass.
Javier, I'm bloody serious. In March, April 2025, we're going to see that bull run. But in March, April 2024, we're going to see regulation for coins, and in September, October 2024, we're going to see regulation for exchanges. And you know what happens when regulation hits? Market adoption is possible. That's a very simple logical answer. You know what happens when you get market adoption? You get competition. You know what happens when you get competition? Fundamentals matter.
Yeah.
You know what
You know
happens
what
when
you're telling me?
fundamentals matter? You know what happens when fundamentals
Yeah.
happen? Everything that's being repressed right now in price skyrockets.
Yeah.
You know
All
when
the
that
same.
happens?
I agree.
You know
But
what? No,
let's
no,
stop
wait,
right
wait, wait,
there.
wait, wait, wait,
Okay.
wait, Javier. Let's not fucking
Okay.
stop right there. Everyone
No.
always stops there.
Agree.
Let's not fucking stop right there. Let's continue.
Go on.
When that
Let's keep
happens,
going. Let him go.
those rich motherfuckers that are actually illegal with future law will dump it on retail because they're fucking assholes in their hearts. Yeah, if you're listening, you're a fucking asshole right now. And you're playing the nice game to the community with what you're building. You're not. You're fucking people over. So there's your decentralization and your moral argument. It's all about the fucking
Yeah.
money. It's all about the dumb dumb. And that's what it's about. And they just want to
Yeah.
make a buck. They don't give a fuck. So I say to them, pay me as well. Fuck you.
No, put it this way. This is all a game. This has been a manipulated game, and they're going to give somebody a carrot to make them feel like they've done something well, and they chose right, or got lucky, or were well connected, or well bred into the right family that got into the right position, and they kind of accidentally. I don't believe in coincidences, and the
I don't
way
either.
I'm seeing it, when I see this dollar that
Not
we
at
are
the top.
printing, something has to be for the dollar to be printed more. Something has to go up, and I'm yet to find that thing that's going up. I don't know what the
Well,
hell it is. Eggs,
well,
besides eggs.
um,
I mean, come.
the one thing that will go up is distrust in government.
Yeah. And you're seeing it now. I mean, you're absolutely
Oh,
seeing it
yeah.
now. Absolutely. Did
And you
anybody-
and you know what goes down? Birth rates.
Yeah. Did anybody
You know what
watch-
goes down? Pensions. Society breaks down. Congratulations. And for those of you in security or homeland security or intelligence officers, if you ever come across this video, I just want to tell you I'm disappointed in your work. I don't think it's enough. You should do better. And if you can't do better, sleep faster. And if that doesn't work, go to your boss and ask for more money and fix this shit. I'm disappointed. Do your work.
And you should
I'm
go back
ashamed.
and re-listen to Laura and Noah with their presentation to DHS.
Yeah, they actually did that. And, I think they know. And if you're listening, yeah, we're not impressed. Like, I know we're not alone. And do you want me to go and tell you answers? I could give you a fair nuggets. I can't, I'm not allowed to fix this shit. I'm not capable of fixing this shit, but I am capable of saying it's not good enough. And I'm not the one to shoulder the responsibility to say, oh, you should do this. This is better. That's your job. So do your job. And if you don't want to do your job, that's fine too. Then stay out of my fucking lane.
Get out of the way. Exactly.
Yeah,
No.
get out of the fucking way.
Get out
You're
of the
not
way
helping.
because you're
No,
You're not
just
helping.
allow-
You think you
allow
are on the
channels
grand
like
scheme.
this.
You think you are, but you aren't.
Yeah, allow channels like this that can express themselves. Right, wrong. Not everybody's going to believe us. Most of us are going to think that we're idiots. 4
Yeah, the
years from
citizens
now,
are
people
smart
will
enough.
realize what we said maybe had some merit, and there were like 2 or 3 people that did get it.
We were more powerful with a free market.
We were more powerful with the yes.
Yes, we had innovation with a middle class. That's where it came from.
Hey,
We
there's
had
no
actual
innovation right now when the government funds certain projects. When the government picks winners and losers because they can create money out of nothing, you don't innovate. You're stuck.
because
It's like
the
this.
bourgeoisie is still persuaded by the aristocracy to fuck over the working class. But once the aristocracy doesn't have the money anymore to pay the bourgeoisie, then we're probably going to have to sharpen the guillotines. That's not something I want. But maybe that's
No.
what they want. Maybe they want to escalate it so far that we're fuck society up. I don't think they do, but that's what we're kind of going towards, unless we come with a solution. And I
Yeah.
get it that at some point maybe this is, part of the solution. And then I just say be transparent and play ball and give everyone a fair shot at the
You,
table and not some handpicked winners because that
you know
system
the
is
problem
coming
with
to an
that
end.
guillotine, right? You know the
Yeah.
problem with
Yeah,
the
I do.
guillotine.
Eventually,
The
everybody
wrong
gets their
people
heads cut off.
get
No,
their
no,
head
no.
cut. Yes,
No,
An
no,
eye
that's
for an
not
eye
the
makes the
issue.
whole
That's
world
not
blind.
the
That
biggest
kind of
risk
thing.
with the guillotine is that 15 to 20 years from that, you get a Napoleon-like figure.
Exactly. Look at the French Revolution. That's a great
The
example. That's the
pendulum
one
the
I always lean
pendulum
on.
swings the other way, and it's
Yep.
it's not pretty. And if that's what we're going for, great. I didn't sign up for this shit. Like I didn't sign up for this shit. I
No.
opt out, and then I do it myself. I'll
Yeah.
work out, I'll invest, and I'll fuck off somewhere on an island. Sure, let it
Pretty
all go
much.
to
I'll
shit.
disappear. Just not Hawaii
Sit on
because they
your
got the bullseye.
sit on your ash throne. Enjoy the view.
Yeah.
It's just what is it to govern over? I mean,
You
it's
know,
just so fucking retarded on every level.
I love that word, and I have people that say, "Don't say retarded. It's not a nice word." And I'm like, "It's an actual word. It's a word that makes sense. Your brain is retarded. It
You know the thing,
cannot.
George Carlin. I'm glad you bring that up, Clint. George Carlin, a great American comedian. I fucking
Yep.
love his work. He has
Yep.
this great bit about how language changed and fucked over the true meaning. And
Yep.
he makes this great analogy in the First World War when guys were dying in the trenches of mustard gas and bombs
Yep.
flowing around. Then he describes the condition called shell shock. Great word. Everyone understands it. Two words, two very, it
Yep.
almost sounds like the shells themselves, he said it. Shell shock. Everyone gets it. And later on, we dehumanize it completely by calling it post-traumatic stress syndrome. Like the humanity is ripped out of it. You know what happens? The condition is still the fucking same. If I'm calling someone handicapped or handy-capable, or I'm just doing them a disservice because I'm not saying it
They
the
have
way it is.
special
And I know it
needs.
sounds,
Special needs.
yeah, and I know it sounds blunt, and I'm Dutch, and I'm a little bit pissed off, a little, probably a lot. And yeah, she missed out. But lucky her. But the thing is,
I was in your head.
yeah, I
know
saw
what
your fist going
I
up.
know. I
That
know.
was,
It's like,
yeah. But it is, the problem is that the language doesn't change the condition. And the thing is, if we are not allowed to speak publicly and openly, we're actually not allowed to go and fix things and actually be more genuine towards one another. Words have meaning, but feelings and actual actions have a lot more meaning. I
Yep.
would say actions are a lot better than words. Like there's an old saying, actions are bigger than words, because it's fucking true. Calling things the way it is, calling a spade, gives us the platform, the cornerstones to actually address the actual issue at hand. And it's not happening in society. It's annoying. I think that's the reason why everyone is so fucked up. And it's just a bread and games. We're being thrown around with social, cultural issues that everyone gets lost in. And sure, they're important to some degree. But the biggest problem is just that finance and money is broken. We need sound money. We need an alternative. And I think eventually, if government can't do it, people will just do it by themselves. And that won't be pretty.
And that's it. And I was reading a book, like Quinn Lisa's in the chat. She was just a couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
General Mike.
Thanks, Lisa.
General Flynn was at a speech. He gave a speech, and she went to, and she live streamed it near her hometown in Oklahoma. And he called out a book. It was called The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates. So I ordered it, of course, through Amazon because, it got here the next day. And so I'm like 3/4 of the way through.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah,
No,
and see, yeah, exactly, right. But you got to navigate the system to get. It's all about a game.
I'm sorry,
but it's a game. But the thing is, gaining information and navigating the game. But the doctrine of the lesser magistrates, and that's really what it comes down to. And what he was really saying is that, You might think there's a greater plan. You might think somebody, has got this, this, somebody's doing this behind the scenes, all these puppets. Ultimately, it comes down to real life. It comes down to if someone says, take, for instance, Illinois, something I live in Illinois, and something I'm very familiar with. Chicago rules the state. Why? Because they have most of the people. Why? Because all the votes, are there. The thing is, when you look at the state, 75, 80%, or, and I don't want to get into parties, but 80% or more are red, which is Republican conservative. Blue is up there in Chicago because all the politicians, that's where all the people are, and they vote for the politicians that end up going to the Capitol. And they rule the state with the statutes that they pass. Now, they pass a lot of things that aren't constitutional, just like they, passed last year. The governor said, got it through the state assembly, and he signed it and said, all right, we're going to ban this kind of gun. And then the sheriffs of the counties actually got in the way, got in the gap. And that's the concept of the Magna Carta all the way through to Martin Luther.
Yes.
All the way
go local.
Exactly. It's like there are people who have power that can stand in the gap between tyranny and freedom. And those people need to stand up, because if you don't do that, the people will revolt. And then you have pitchforks, then you have guillotines.
Yep.
That's when you have those things. And we don't want to get to that point. We need to have leaders who say, listen, I understand this is unconstitutional. I'm an elected authority.
So
I can stand between the king and the people and make it right. And it's biblical. It goes all the way back, and so that's the whole point. This whole thing really is biblical, believe it or not, but it's like we ultimately make the decisions. And do we want to get it to that point to where mass, might makes right, the masses take over, but then you see all the turmoil, the French Revolution style with Robespierre, hey, I'm for the people, this and that, and he gets his head cut off. It's just like, that's
they actually killed the entire aristocracy, and I don't think that's the way forward either.
And pretty soon like, okay, who's going to rise from the ashes, and give some sort of, nice speech to become leader, and then you got a Napoleon. Do you want to get to that point? No. Good people need to stand up, and they need to say, listen, it's not about the money. It's not about being paid off. It's not about going along with the system because there's a plan. No, the plan is protecting the rights of the people, protecting the freedom of the people, protecting, what our...
That's true.
Our values
and how do you do that? I did some thinking on that for a long time, Clint.
It's up to good people to do the right thing, is really what it comes down to.
There's more to it. Like,
there's a lot more.
I googled your book. And I like it. It's the doctrine of the lesser magistrate as a concept in Protestant thought. And it says, basically, it declares that when superior or higher civil authority makes an unjust, immoral law or decree, the lesser or lower ranking civil authority has both the right and duty to refuse obedience to that superior authority. Yes. And I agree. And what I would think is I know I mentioned Napoleon because on a hard reaction, and you get that in a civil unrest, you get a hard reaction, you also get a hard anti-reaction towards it.
Yes.
So what happens? The pendulum swings from all the aristocracy dies, which is too much due to guillotine. There is no aristocracy, so one guy, Napoleon, through the army takes the power, and then you get a dictator, and you get wars, and you get, French, and then you get French cuisine, and you start eating frog legs. Like, no one wants that.
You know what?
So the problem, no, wait, Javier, this is way too important. Give me a second. And I know I'm being on a rampant, but the thing is that I fully agree with what Clint says, and what has to happen for it to go nicely and well, and for it to go as fluently as possible, is for younger generations that get this to go into government. Don't protest. Go into government, work in government, network with like-minded people in government, and change the system from the inside out. Because the reason for that is that those initial laws and rules and rituals that we have in place have meaning, and they've lost their meaning. They have been corrupted by other people. The rituals aren't wrong. Like a president used to mean something. That isn't wrong. Like a constitutional law isn't wrong. That used to mean something. Like, so you just have to go back to the basics again. You have to go back to the basics again and don't throw away all your rituals. We don't need a new social contract like the WEF says. I don't
Right.
fucking need a new one. I need
No.
the fucking old one.
No,
I
we
need
got
the
the playbook.
old social concept. I want the old one to go back. What they want to do is they want to get all the capital and then consolidate it to infinity on an immutable ledger and then say, okay, I'll stay the autocracy forever. You'll never get your Bitcoin. You only get paper Bitcoin. I don't have to invest anything anymore. I'm eternally going to be aristocracy. Fuck that. You know, we got to rise and fall in society. That's what we live for millennia. There's a Jewish saying that a money bag on your doorknob stays there for 3 generations, because that's the way the game has always been played. And we're not going to do immutable wealth into infinity. That's not what we're going to do with. But that's what they want. They want to be kings and queens and emperors forever. Fuck that feudal system. It's not what I signed up
you know
for.
what they've done? They've bastardized the whole thing, and what they use is they've converted our mindset to use tools that are artificial. You know, and so when you look at it, hang on, when you look at it, you know, how was Jesus sacrificed? Okay, you know, let's just historically speaking, how did he get hanged on the cross? You know, how was he hung on the cross? For 30 shekels of silver. You know, somebody sold out for real money. But what they've done is converted that into a situation to where, hey, I'll sell out anybody for the money of the realm right now. And the money of the realm has no real value. Actually, 30 shekels of silver back then, that was real money, you know. And so it's like, okay, also I make a decision to do that. You know, you're a Judas. And it's just, but what they've done now is they've enriched themselves. They built their wealth on the backs of us based on fake, artificial things. I mean, it's really nothing. And we've sold out for things that have no meaning, have no matter. And if we don't have people that wake up and realize that, you know, hey, I'm the sheriff, you know, and I'm not, whatever. I'm the sheriff, you know, I'm the guy in charge of Maui, you know, that happened to come out there and got $50,000 to move out there, even though there were locals that could have done it, didn't have to move. And then he gets a 29% raise as soon as he takes the job. And this is the same guy that oversaw the shooting on the Strip in Las Vegas in 2017. And now he's involved in this whole catastrophe out there in Maui. You got to think, why was that guy put in place? I mean, did he get paid off? You know, I mean, was he in a situation? I'm just using theoretical examples. Why did he get there, and how much money did it take for him to get there? And, you know, and I'm not going to dog the guy. You know, he's probably a very qualified guy. He went to the FBI Academy and learned everything that the feds teach. And, you know, so he's probably, you know, very pro-American, and he would never harm the people of, you know, America, and especially not natives of the Hawaiian Islands that we stole, you know, from the rightful queen, you know, over 100 years ago. But you've got people who sell out. And my point is, you know, that doctrine of lesser magistrates, when you're in a position of power, or I should say, when you're in a position of responsibility to defend the rights of the people, it's not, well, it's the law, it is what it is. No, I mean, you can pass a law that say all black people are slaves. Does that make it right? No, at some point you say, no, it's not right, and I'm not going to follow the law. I'm going to stand in that gap. I'm going to stand in between tyranny and say, no, I'll stand up for the people. And the people in elected office, whether it's local, and that's the thing, there's so much power in the positions of local elected officials to where they can stand up. Did they stand up during COVID? Yeah, some did, but most didn't. I mean, did they defend the rights of people? And so,
but the problem is,
did that though,
Clint.
I know.
In the U.S., local works, but in the EU, international laws.
But we got the Magna Carta from England.
Let me bring up one point. Let me bring up a point.
In the EU, we have a different system than in the U.S. It's completely 180 degrees opposed. I'll make it short.
But if it's wrong, it's wrong.
But it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's different. Here's the issue. In the EU, international laws supersede national laws. In the US, it's the opposite. because federal laws don't supersede state laws. State laws supersede
the
federal
human
laws.
rights and the rights of the human being, born in the image of God, should supersede all of that
So
stuff.
so let's agree on this, Clint. In the US, you need to work locally. In Europe, you need to work nationally, and then we'll move top down.
Well,
And
let me
that's the sad reality of it.
let me bring a whole different point of view into it. And I'm not saying 9/11 was right, wrong, was them, was us. The whole point is, how strong did the U.S. unite when that shit happened? When we were led led to believe that it was a certain people. How fast did the people join the military? We are looking for that reason to go into it.
It's an old
But it
strategy out
works.
of the Stasi. Do you know that was the German intelligence during the Second World War? It's a
Yep.
Stasi book.
It worked.
They basically
The Stasi,
say
the
if you
Schutzstaffel, all those
yeah if you
sycophants
create
that,
if you create an enemy, even if it's imaginary, everyone will rally behind it.
that's it. Big
Well,
Brother's
here
gonna come
is
get
another
you.
enemy.
The babies in the incubators, right?
Yeah, get
And
it,
then they
Yeah,
think that we are
weapons of mass
exactly.
stupid. They think
destruction, babies
then
in
then they think that
incubators,
we are
all
too
lie.
stupid at not getting it.
But if we do get it, and we do realize, and we do happen to get out the message, what the problem truly is, which is probably fiat.
That's
And
the root
once,
of
put
all
it
of it.
this way, as soon as you get screwed, as soon as you go to the bank and they go, you can't have your money, you can't, you, that check that you just wrote just bounced.
I
Once
think
shit starts hitting the fan, I think people are going to look for that. And when they find something to run to, I don't even know that this is the right thing to run to. I mean,
I think people
that-
in government generally don't trust the intelligence of citizens to figure shit out for themselves. And that's it. And I think many of them
but
are
we
too
do
lazy and
unite.
too corrupt because they sit in a golden cage and they want more, just a little more envy,
Here's
just
the
a little
thing.
more greed.
I'll
They
take
want
the
more.
alternative view. I'll take the opposite view on that. I think they understand the intelligence of the people, and that's why they use all the resources that they have to shut down those people and use the media so that people don't
Yeah.
stand up.
Look
And
to the left and the hand moves to the right.
yeah, it's all a
Did you
big
know?
magic
You know
trick.
when
It's all a big show.
that big bullshit news narrative when that submarine that went to the Titanic imploded with that not
yeah.
famous billionaire that no one knew but suddenly had to care about, and then at the same time that was blown up for a few days, totally out of proportion. Like everyone was talking about, oh no, the submarine to the Titanic, and then BlackRock and J.P. Morgan. They set up a bank in Ukraine to filter out and give your tax money tax free to Ukraine, and then the grain price got suddenly repressed because of the flood of a dam, and they started making bank on that on your fucking tax money. Didn't you know how fun that was, that submarine story? Let's talk about that submarine story again,
Like, oh
right,
my
people?
gosh, the
Let's
drama.
fucking talk about that again. And I get it because people, they get it shoved into their face. Everyone is like, manipulated with their no neurotoxins on being dopamine addicted to mass media. Everyone's in their bubble. I fucking get it. I get it. But, if you're fed up with this shit, you got to look to the facts and not to the bullshit.
You got your mask ready? Because it's coming.
Yeah, pretty
What
much.
mask?
That's mask. I'm
The
warning you.
road to hell. The road to hell is paved
Yes,
with
we do,
bought
Lisa.
masks.
We don't need currency. We need stores of value and peer-to-peer trade in free markets.
That's
Amen.
I think that's 100% right, because that is the underlying theme of all of this. Because we've all worked our whole lives. We've all seen ourselves get robbed. And it's because of the money. It's because of the system. It's because of the bullshit. No matter what country you're in, you're getting manipulated. And so it comes down to, I think we are moving into a world of assets. And then you got to look at who's taking control of the assets. Who's pulling the digibyte off that is worth nothing because there's no development, supposedly. There's no
let's talk about
trajectory.
Bittrex. Let's talk
there's,
about
there's
Bittrex.
no Litecoin development. Pull all that shit off. But you got to look at who's taking control of the assets
Yeah,
for the
let's
new
talk about
digital
it.
age.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about Bittrex.
let's go back
Let's
to
talk about.
Somebody's doing
Digibyte.
it.
I'll go
Let's
a little bit.
Let's
in
go
a
hammer
tangent.
on Digibyte.
I'll go a little bit in a tangent, Clint, just for fun's sake, because I did so much
The
due diligence.
exchanges. They're the new banks.
No. Bittrex was the first
shit.
exchange a few days after Digibyte launched that actually, listed Digibyte. Now there's 3 CEOs in America at the time, and now there's 1 CEO in Switzerland, in Europe. So 4 CEOs in total that are working on Bittrex. That 1 CEO, by the way, is in Europe, is stationed in Switzerland and is part of the World Economic Forum. That's fun. And the other 3 in the US, they got really fun resumes too. They're really fun. Like Bill Shahara, if you're listening, great fan. Great fan of your work. He was the lead security officer for Microsoft, Amazon Web Spaces, and BlackBerry. I got a funny story on BlackBerry, but I'll do that after the live feed ends for you guys. But it's a great guy, and his other 2 CEOs were work buddies of him at those companies, not at BlackBerry, but at Amazon Web Services and Microsoft. So these guys, suffice to say, they understand security, and they thought, this is the kind of shit I need to buy. Funny, great bunch of people.
You
to
mean
make
you
that
don't
exchange.
believe in coincidences?
No.
You don't
it's
believe in
a
any
phenomenal.
coincidence?
No, but by itself, it's just a pleasant. It's just a pleasant finding, and it's like, oh, these guys know their shit. And in the grand total of things, it's like an accumulation of coincidence. But I guess that's what we invest in, like a hunch, a gut feeling. But it's
Trust
love
yourself.
your work, Bill. Love your work. And sad that you're no longer allowed to be an exchange in the US. Are you going to fix that through LCX, or are you going to come back? Please, can you be on the show next time? I'd love to ask you. Love to pick your brain. But I think you lost a lawsuit there, Bill. So let's see how you deal with those digibytes that you got, and how you're going to make bank on that and dump it on retail. Love your work. So yeah, let's do LCX next. No, let's leave that for another space. So Monty Metzger, are you ever gonna fix your back end and hook it up to, I don't know, the European self-sovereign identity fund? Yeah, AutoCrypt. Yeah, that's a funny algorithm. One of the 5 of Digibyte. They're probably mining it on that. Not LCX though, probably Bittrex. But LCX was launched as an exchange in 2018. It kind of got late to the party in crypto land, and then a few months after they launched, they were with FTX, so they were in good company. They were the only partnered exchanges of the WEF. 2 months or 3 months after you launch your exchange, I got those business deals as well. I make a company, I go to the Chamber of Commerce, I register. And then immediately I'm a sponsor and a network agent of the WEF. I mean, that's how markets work, don't they, boys? You just pick up the phone, you say, hey, I want the WEF. You get the nice secretary on the line, and you're like, yeah, just give me Klaus Schwab. I need to talk to him for a minute. It's like, Klaus, I got to sell you some shit, mate. I just made an exchange, crypto exchange, and you're gonna make me a sponsor. Sure, man, I'm gonna do that, Steak. Put me on your website. That's how it works.
Javier.
Totally how it works.
I'm sorry, Javier. A Steak.
No, we look alike.
I know you do. I can tell. There's very similar.
We both have this fucked up the goatee. Go ahead.
Holy cow. No,
I shaved it all off, brother.
See, here's the thing. What they do, they put it all out there in front of you. All the information is put out there in movies. They put it out there in the media because, that's what they do. They tell you beforehand because they're Satanists, and they have to tell you that they're going to bend you over and do something to you. But that's part of the game. But if you look at the John Wick movies, what's the name of the hotel that they go to? And somebody in the chat, Lisa, you might know. But in the John Wick movies,
wasn't it Epstein Hotel or something?
Yeah.
Or am I mixing things right now?
But it was kind of an island,
sorry.
in the middle of all these things like Vatican City. It's one of these, untouchable places, this hotel. They can all go there. And if you get
if it's the Vatican City, they don't do untouching.
Man, I'll tell you what, I love it. We're on the same wavelength.
Well, it doesn't matter underground, under the crypts. It's okay.
Yeah,
there's no rules.
There was a certain hotel that they all go to, and you're like, outside of the system, and you're part of the game, and you have the discussions. No, it's in the movie John Wick 1 through 4 now. Yeah. I know, 1913 Jekyll Island. Go read The Creature from Jekyll Island, G. Edward Griffin. If you want to learn, what the hell we're talking about. That's a big one. But and then where's Jekyll Island? And then you think Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. The Two-Face thing. It's like show something in the surface, in public, and then what do you do behind the scenes in the dark? And then you kind of understand, all this means something. But it's go look at what that hotel is, and all these places where these people meet, and all these ideas that get passed, and you have to be part of the club. I mean, and so all of this is out there. All of this information is out there, to where they use it through symbolism, symbology, whatever you want to call it, and you got to get your head around that stuff and understand that. I got more points, but I can't make them right now because I'm empty on my,
I agree with you. Numerology, all that shit has to do something. And Lisa, you were right. Steak is a bit spicy. I think it's because of his dating situation today.
Look, let's not go into the redhead, Javier. Let's not go there.
Why not? We went into Digibite all the way, all the way in.
I wish you rubbed off on me.
I'm just joking, my brother.
That's all right. Well, I got a rain check. No worries.
That must be that testicular fortitude.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm a little spicy or a little passionate. I'm just a little fed up. I'm sorry, Lisa. Can you tell?
Yeah, you're built up, and you know what? Rightfully so. What you've said, I can't say I disagree with absolutely anything that you've said, Steak, and I think that we all feel that. And if we look deep enough,
it's disrespectful what I'm saying, but it's true. And I also feel disrespected by them. And maybe I'm venting a little, but I think that many people that I've spoken with over the years feel the same way at some point.
Yeah, well, I think rightfully so. More for you that have done the research. I'm still trying to find out through the outside. But if I knew what you know, I think I'd be in that same situation. I think that's what Lisa knows about certain things that she goes into, and Clint and people that have done that know more, that are being polite enough to be gentle as Steak has been today, and letting the information out. You know what? There's a reason for this, and it's a frustration because no one, Lisa says this all the time, we should be making our own damn decisions. People shouldn't be making them for us. And now we are. You have a group of people that we like to sit around and dig deep, and certain people get offended. It's our own projects that we are invested in. We are all invested in these projects. We all like the direction it's going or the image that we've been given, but we're not afraid to go and dig a little deeper and find out what's truly happening. And if we can call it out, God bless y'all three for bringing all the shit out and shit. I'll stir that damn
I want to know what Nebula OS is and what Threefold's part in it is. I want to know where it stands in Gaia
Tell me
X,
about it.
and I want to know if Eclipse is gonna, be compliant to the Cyber Resilience Act. Much love from Steak here. Can you please elaborate on that, or do we have to cough up 50 million euros in a fine because we're not compliant at some point? I don't know. Maybe that's something you can address, Jarrett.
All roads
Much
lead
love,
to.
thank you. Much love, thank you.
All roads lead
love your
to.
work.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just stuff like that I think no one's fucking talking about it. No one is addressing it. It's like the actual relevant compliance is like, what are we going to do? Intellectual property protection, or are we going to get open source? Like, where are we with this angle? And I know it's relevant for those listening because, I know Lisa, thank you for the support.
Yeah, just read what Lisa just wrote.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Thank you. But it's relevant. Those of you that stand by Reggie Middleton and his IPs, you want to know where the fuck it's going. You want to know where the fuck it's going.
We're holders.
And it's not. It's like what you say, Javier. I don't care what the rules are, but I'll play ball. But the only thing they do is change up the rules as we go because it suits them and it fits them, and that just doesn't cut it. And that's the entire thing. It's like, now it's a goal and now it isn't. Now it's rules for thee and not for me. And it's, we're done with it. It's not good enough. We see the decay in our society slowly happening, and we know that the biggest thing is yet to happen. And we know what's happening. We know what's happening because we're following the fucking money. It's not on the fucking mass media. You can't turn on, in your case, Fox News or CNN and be expected
No,
to be
I don't turn
educated on what's
on.
happening. So government doesn't explain things well, and they're not transparent enough. So they're not doing their job. They're not explaining things well enough to citizens what's happening. And there's a big disconnect between what's happening both in Europe and in the US and on a national level in Europe between what government is doing and what citizens expect it is doing, and they don't get it. And then they have to fill that gap by keeping people, subservient by throwing media at their ass. But now we're
Yeah.
going towards media that actually manipulates neurotoxins in people, so people actually get a little bit cuckoo. You see all these cuckoo people along, wherever you go, everyone is suddenly has anxiety, everyone has a depression, and then we just put pills in them. So we deal with
What's
like
wrong with
the
that?
consequences, but we don't deal with the root cause of the issue. That's what's wrong with it. We don't deal with the fucking root cause. So I don't want to
Exactly.
drink tap water with fluoride or lithium in it because I'm not fucking sick. Other people might need it, but get it out of the tap water, make the tap water clean, and then give those supplements to those that need it outside of the fucking tap water. You lazy fucking psychiatrists. You lazy pharmaceuticals. Put some more money in it, put it outside of the
Wait.
tap water. You want to fuck
Someone
with
makes a
the
lot of
tap
money.
water. You
Someone
want to you
makes a
want to
lot
give
of
that
money with
stuff into
that.
baby formula, and you want to say, "Oh, here, baby, have some tap water formula with lithium and fluoride." You're probably gonna love that shit.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
great.
delicious. It's
It's
healthy.
delicious. Here, drink
Nutritious.
it. Drink it. Yeah, it's just you wanted me to turn it up, Lisa. I get fucking annoyed by all that shit. It's so obvious. It's so obvious what's wrong in society, and no politician wants to burn their hands at it because they all get paid by I don't know, by lobbyists or jobs and speeches that they have to give
All
after
right.
they sat there and suddenly they earn millions
You're absolutely
and they're
right.
suddenly the messiah. I don't want to hear from any politician anymore that he's going to save society. I just want a politician that starts his job first day that says sorry for all the shit. It wasn't your fault. I want them to relieve that moral burden from people that causes people to kill themselves in society because they no longer see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I just want a politician to say, yeah, it was our fault. We fucked up. We're going to do better. I'll love that a lot more than saying, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna be the new messiah and I'm gonna fix your shit. Whether that's Kennedy, whether that's Trump, whether that's DeSantis, whether that's fucking Biden, even if he can, chew through his fucking ice cream, or anyone else there in the US. Like even people in fucking Europe know. I mean, it's a fucking disaster. I mean, what do you want? It's like, is that your fucking president? The
Oh
deep state
shit!
just wants that shit because they can do their own shit. It's that fucking obvious. It's just, yeah, we all have to take personal responsibility, Lisa, and stop asking the government to fix it or explain to us. I fully agree, but I also think that if we have a government as like, the monkey-like human species that we are, we have some sort of social hierarchy to fix things and to do things and arrange things. I do think that we need to do that transparently and fair and square to the entire tribe of people, and we don't do that. We just seem to elect all these cocksuckers that only
Well,
think about
let's go
themselves.
back. Let's go back to last night's steak. I don't know if you watched because you keep up on American politics.
A little bit.
Okay, so last
Probably
night,
more than your average American, but
yeah,
not
no,
in
I
detail.
agree. You have, you do, and so last night we had a Republican presidential
Yeah,
debate. We had 8 people
yeah.
on stage, and
Probably DeSantis did well, right?
well, who won the debate? That's the big thing today. And they
I
show
I
the
didn't
sound
watch it.
bites
Was
and
it
show all the
DeSantis?
clips. I mean, how do you define who won? The one who won is the one that's got over 50% and didn't even show up. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Oh, that's Trump. That's Trump,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, of
I
course.
mean, no, really.
Oh
And so
shit!
you look at
You're right, Lisa.
polarization.
It is our own fault because we gave
It
over our
is our own
power for
part.
convenience. But that's true, but it's also power consolidates power.
Yeah,
Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
absolutely, yep, yeah. But what I saw last night is
Yeah,
like
not a
I've
single
seen.
American flag.
What I saw last night was just the same old thing that I've seen for years. Every election, it's the same old stale stuff. It's the same thing that made me say, I don't care about these parties. I don't want to elect the same people. And it's a different system in Europe. You may build coalitions, that kind of thing. Here, it's, hey, whoever wins, wins. We have a mandate. We got 51% of the vote. We have a mandate to do everything that we said we'd do. But when I look at last night, it's just an illustration of of the same old stuff. Nobody talked about what happened in the last 3-4 years with COVID. Nobody blamed pharmaceuticals. You know, really the underlying problem, you're talking about fluoride in the water. You're talking about, I mean, the things that actually harm people at an individual level. Nobody brought it up. Everybody's, you know, I'm great because of this. You know, look at me. Pay attention to me because I'm going to beat Joe Biden because Joe Biden's horrible. And that's what it's always been, the back and forth of, well, that guy's terrible and he's burned everything down. So, you know, I'm the next new great thing because I believe in this. And I, you know, and they give a bunch of speeches. They, you know, they act like they give the right words. They say the right things. But at the end of it all, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to change?
Well,
Did
I think
anybody bring up
this
Bitcoin?
whole
Did anybody
I
bring
think
up
this
sound money
well
last
Kennedy
night?
Kennedy
No.
brought up Bitcoin, right?
Right,
Kennedy
but he's on the
Yeah, we
other
know it.
side. But he's
Yeah,
not
I
going
know,
to get
but
the debate.
I don't
So he
I
has
don't
to
know
do
if
it
I'm
on
talking to
social media.
Republicans or Democrats, but there was someone that brought it up. I thought that was already remarkable that a presidential candidate, on what side of the spectrum it is, I'm you know, I'm both bipolar. I think they're fucking awesome. But you know, it's just what you know, what
More lithium.
presidential, you know, candidate. Yeah, but isn't it fucking nonsense that someone like Kennedy is bringing up
Yeah.
Bitcoin? Can you imagine?
He's like, I own Bitcoin. And I think that's a
Are we
Lisa's
on
off.
an
But
agenda?
thank you, Lisa.
Are we on
I
the
love
fucking
you.
agenda?
Yeah,
Are
well,
we on the agenda? I mean, come on.
who, us
It's to the
four?
point. Yeah, no, on being informed and lightly bringing it up and then knocking it back down. It's a control issue. Let's put it this way. Let's wait till Michael Saylor says something because we know the price is going down. It always goes down when Michael Saylor's. I mean, we are being fooled because I think Steak's right. Maybe we need more testosterone in the water
Well,
for
I think so.
the men
I think
here
we need more
because
men
we've
that just
lost
say,
our
F
fucking
this is
balls.
stupid. This is
You know
stupid.
what the
We have
problem?
no
You know,
strength. There's
let,
very
let's
few
not let,
people
let's
that'll speak that'll
let's
hurt
not go
anybody's
into like
feelings
the.
or
I don't want to go into the whole male-female debate because it's full of toxic, especially in mass media, especially in media, full of toxic topics. But I'll tell you one
yeah, I
thing. I'll
agree.
tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Destroying the family home and having less fathers bringing up less sons is not a good thing.
It's not a good
It's
thing. Thank
not
you
a
very
good
much.
thing. It's
And when
not a
you
good thing.
benefit,
And
when the American
it's
people
not.
benefit
There's
from it,
there's a reason why the military has a tough problem right now recruiting people because they're not competent fellas anymore. You know why? Because you fucked over the finance, so you fucked up the divorce rate, so you fucked up all the little sons that came up that now identify as a transgender. I'm sorry, many do. Many are confused because they're just gay or they're not and they're experimenting, and then you cut off their willy before they're 18. Not allowed to drink, not allowed to vote, allowed to cut off your dick. Very strange. And then you do that, and then you say, okay, I got to recruit some men that are smart enough to follow orders, but are actually still capable. And, you know, that's when your entire, and I use the argument of the military, but it is in a many different aspects of life as well, where you say, okay, where are the competent people? Where are the competent people of men that just do their work, but actually know because they've been taught by their fathers that it's okay, that, you know, life as a man is providing, it probably is suffering. You probably only have value if you bring shit to the table. Women, kids, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved for what they bring to the table. I give the toxic, you know, community that one. That is true, but it's not a bad thing. It's what we do. We actually, it's not something to say I want equality in that. I'm fucking proud of that.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't care.
deliver. I'll deliver to the table. That's okay. I don't need your sweet sympathy. I'll just deal with it. I'll get it done. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Shut the fuck up. I'll fix it. It's okay. It's going to work out. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll find a way. And if I don't have it, I'll find a way. I'll fix it anyway. That's what I do. You fix shit. And then, you know, it's just that entire phenomenon, that mindset of, you know, yeah, I probably don't know, but I'll fix it. I'll get it done. And it works out. Or you ask your buddies and then one of them is specialized in something and then he helps you and you help him. And you got this brotherhood of guys that help each other. I think that that's one of the things that's really missing in society, not just in America, but definitely in Europe as well. It's decaying. It's decaying more. In like having like a fraternity or a brotherhood of men actually sticking out for one another. You know, you used to have guilds.
Yeah.
You know, those
Yeah.
things are gone,
Yep.
and they passed on knowledge, right? I know you want to say something, Clint. So
No,
feel
that's
free
what
to
they
cut me
did.
off, man.
It's no, that's that historical knowledge. That's that experience that you pass on at a very personal level, to where it's, hey, I'm looking you in the eye and I'm telling you, if you do this, it's not going to work. Do it this way. Watch. I'm going to show you, if you don't do it this way, what kind of damage can be done. And I mean, and I'm just thinking of a T-shirt, because that's the new world. Everything's got to be in a fucking T-shirt. Sorry, language, but it's hashtag just fix it. Just fix it. Don't sit back and let things just roll on you and say, well, I can't do anything. No, just fix it.
I know one thing about the future.
Plumbing doesn't work. Figure it out how to
Figure
fix it.
it out.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
the family
Or
ain't got
get
any
your
water.
buddy.
Toilet
Get
doesn't
your buddy.
flush.
Help him with his taxes, and he does your plumbing. You're both happy.
Exactly. Get shit done. That's what it comes down to. Another hashtag. Just get shit done.
Get shit done. Yeah.
Get her done.
And don't get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. Yeah.
Hello?
Who was that again? He was on the roasts when
I mean, and that's what it
30
comes
years
down
ago.
to. And it's just like, but everybody feels like, well, I need to change your mind to make you think that I'm acceptable in society. Because I believe certain things, you need to believe those things. And unfortunately, that's where we're at in society. And, that's not a right thing. It's just not the way it is. I don't have to accept you for your beliefs. You can do what you want, but don't try and project that onto my lifestyle and my kids' lifestyle.
But maybe, Clint, maybe this is one of the reasons why I and probably some of you or maybe all of you will agree with me, even those in the listeners, is why I like this whole crypto community as well, where you just share shit for free. And some people are specialized in law, others in technical analysis, some are specialized in like what happens on chain, others know a lot about different sets of coins. Some people have good and great investment knowledge or macroeconomic background, and a lot more like technical hardware or software or infrastructure knowledge. And people share that shit with one another and you help each other out. And even if it's less or more than the other, it doesn't matter. But if it's genuine and if it's true, I always read that shit. Everything I get tagged in, I read it, I listen to it, and I love it. Keep doing that. If it's more or less than the other, I don't care. It's not a competition, but if everyone brings something to the table, we'll have a picnic. We'll have a barbecue. We'll have a roast.
Truth, baby.
Right?
It's all about humanity. It's all about doing things that make things better. And if we have ideas that we can share with somebody else, it's like, hey, this is how I fixed it. That's the great thing about going to YouTube. If I want to fix something, it's like, hey, this dude did it. And it's like, but instead of sitting back and waiting, well, my car's broken down. Well, I lost my job. It's like a country song, and I'm waiting for the government
the dollar
to
ain't
save
shit.
my ass, and the dollar ain't shit. They're going to dump it all over me, so I can drown in it, but it still doesn't fix my problem. And that's, I mean, stop. Don't think your 401k is safe. Don't think your money in the system is safe. You're participating in a vampire casino. And that's why I say this, because it's all a fraud. It's all a fiction. It's all make-believe. And you think it's worth something, but it's not worth anything. The only thing that's worth something is, Javier showing up out of the blue, giving him a big hug, and, and then we resonate, and it's like, wow, boom, the light goes off. And it's like, wow, we can fix things together. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Dave shows up. It's like, we can make things happen. And yeah, we can make things happen. We've always done that. It's just we've been brain dumbed down through all these idiots that read teleprompters that tell us, well, this is the way of the world.
Well, we're already strengthening. We're already strengthening our community by ways of communicating different ways and avenues where we can not only save on our taxes, a better way of doing stuff, looking at the future, because that future is coming, whether we want it or not. We will be in a situation where we will have to be making different kinds of decisions that we are making right now as broke ass people. No, I'm just as the people that we are right now. my God, and it's scary to me, and I've always said it, having Michael Jackson money scares the shit out of me. I'm not that guy. I want to be the hippie, man. I want to be the guy that runs around and just has a good time, has a few drinks with my friends, and I'm going to, but we are getting to that time, whether we're ready or not. We need to form our communities right now. People that we trust, people that we can go see, because without that, it's a lonely fucking life, man. It's a lonely life
really
without being able to
Because
go
at the end of the
and
day,
see each other.
you want to die alone. I mean,
No,
seriously,
it's just,
and that's what it
You
comes
know
down
what?
to. It's just like, you
if
don't die
Lisa's on there,
alone. If you've got
and
the
if
right.
Lisa's on there, thank you, Lisa. Lisa texted me and goes, Javier, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why not? She goes, where are you? And I'm here in Florida, because she heard about the storms. I don't watch the news, so I didn't even know about
Right,
the
because
storm.
I asked
Everything
you
is
in the
fine
chat,
over
like,
there,
are you
but
in Texas, bro? Because supposedly there's,
you,
I don't know. I'm asking you because the news is saying, oh my God, we got storms in Texas. I'm like,
yeah,
but to
nobody else
Javier, are
gives.
you all
I
right?
mean,
Is it real?
exactly. She ran out to go and see Sean.
Yeah,
I mean, is
real
not
life.
what the community is totally all about? These are people that I feel, her, Charlie, so many others in the community that I can't mention, to where we could go. I need to get away, like you said yesterday,
Yep.
Clint. I need to get away. I don't want to answer the phone. I just want to go to my little cabin that I made over at the Westwood.
Yep.
that's
Yep.
there, and just hang out,
I
take
could
a cold shower outside, and really enjoy
I'm
fucking
working
life,
on
man.
that. I got to wait for
No, I love
2025
it.
to make it happen.
I'll still leave that one there, because I'll still take
Oh,
a
it's
shower
not
there.
going anywhere. It might be leaning like the Tower of Pisa,
It's
but
okay. It's okay. That's what the whole community is about. Lisa's very good at that. She goes and keeps in touch and keeps everybody else of people's birthday. Dude, I hadn't had my birthday recognized, and I don't know. This year in February, there's a bunch of us in February.
yes, we're all
And
Aquarians.
we all were meant to. Thank you, Lisa. You know what? Thank you, Lisa, for being that person. I don't know if it's a motherly figure. It's just, you know what? It's a sensitive figure that is aware of shit like that. And I'm sorry that I'm not more like that, because I didn't grow up with that. And that's, you know what?
But
It's
you're
a good
getting that
feeling
way,
for
and
that.
I've seen that change, Javier, and I get where you're coming from, because I'm a guy that never wanted to have kids. I mean, I said, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to bring them into this world. I don't want to pass on my flawed DNA to anybody. But I'll tell you what.
That's what I said.
No, seriously. I mean,
Flawed
that's the way I
DNA,
was raised.
Clint.
No,
I
I
agree.
Flawed
broken.
DNA.
We're all
Dude,
broken.
we need more people drinking whiskey and smoking cigars in this world.
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm not even being
honest.
ironic here. I'm really being honest here.
I'm being honest. And that's what it comes down to. It's just like, I know I'm a freaking mess. There's so many things. I'm like, I can't pass that along. I can't put somebody in the world and have to deal with all this bullshit, that goes in my mind and everything I think about, and I see it, and I have 2 daughters, and they're opposites, and I see, not going to get into it, but it's just that, I mean, you see yourself.
I'm a father myself.
You see yourself in those kids, and that more than anything, to me, I'm like, I'm glad I did that. It's a struggle at many times,
Sure,
but it's still that you projected yourself into the future by doing that, and I'm glad that I'm in the position I'm in, but I understand the difficulty of doing that in this world, because you worry. Now you're like, oh my God, are they going to be okay? I mean, you worry about them all the freaking time.
Clint, think about this. There are thousands of generations before you that made you to this point, and you just passed the torch.
I'm here because somebody said, okay.
No. You passed the torch.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And when you understand
you
that,
did it. Yeah.
when you
but that doesn't mean that all those people at some point that didn't pass the torch didn't also add to the humanity where we are right now.
Absolutely.
They did.
There will be
But they don't have voices anymore. They don't have voices anymore.
Yes.
But there's a lot of men and women that sacrificed themselves before they could give birth to kids, or consciously, or couldn't have kids, that did great things for society. It takes a village to raise a man, is what they used to say, and I still believe that.
Yep.
And
then you got people like Hillary that bastardize it and turn it a different way. It takes a village to feed me my adrenochrome. And I mean, and that's
how much though? How much adrenochrome? How many kids do you
how
need?
much adrenochrome does a person need? The road to hell is paved with,
How many parts per million? Have we done? Have we done
adrenochrome.
the math? How many adrenalized babies do we need to kill? Have we done
Yeah,
the math?
right. Exactly. But a vampire's a vampire.
Easy on that there, Steak.
Why?
They cut the channel for that shit.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
really.
Oh, that's
I
a
know.
good. That's a. Can you edit it out later?
Well, we're kind of already live.
Nah. Blind
but-
Dave.
Oh, well, I
Blind Dave
apologize.
Just
3.
letting
Follow
you know,
Blind
hey.
Dave
I
3 on
apologize.
YouTube.
I'm just saying it. I'm not doing it.
Well, and to y'all's point, I mean, my father raised me with a bunch of different sayings. One was that, any guy with a dick can have a child, but it takes a man to raise it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another was that my father used to say was, when you know, and you know that you know, confidence replaces fear.
Yep. You don't care at that point. You get to that
don't
point
care.
where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
And you know what? It's good to see and hang out with a group of guys. It's rare to be around guys that have the confidence that we do, to be able to mix it, hash it out, none of this is pre-orchestrated. We let it go, and if we disagree, we disagree. This is what we've always talked about. We're going to hash it out.
Yeah.
There is no
Hey, Dave.
tapping out. You just go into it and mention it. Go ahead.
Sorry. Just if you can edit it, maybe you want to write it down somewhere or dot it down.
It's
or,
at 1:30.
I think it's at 129 somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
128,
Before
129
1:30.
somewhere that you might want to edit it out.
And you
I
know what?
apologize.
Don't edit it.
I apologize.
Don't edit it.
I
If you got to
apologize.
start a new channel,
No,
who
the
gives
thing
a
is,
shit?
I just
Start a
want to
new
address
channel.
Dave. I don't want to address do no evil Google. I want to address Dave by saying, I don't want your channel to get out
And
of
you
the
know
air
what?
for that.
It shouldn't be that way, Steak. We were been talking like men. We don't mean anything offensive by anything the hell that we're saying. These are just opinions. I think there's the First Amendment covers this. I mean,
Yeah,
why
but that
isn't
doesn't
it?
stop the word police.
No,
exactly.
and I
Might makes
understand, and I
right.
don't want to harp on it, but what I'm saying is, you know what? I'm tired of all the titty babies that we have that can't stand. Look, if I see you and I think you're a man, I'm going to say yes, sir. And if you don't like it, I don't care. You have the right to think of you whatever way you want. I'm going to address you the way I want, and if you don't like it, I'm okay with that. Go on, do something about it, do whatever the hell it's going to be, but I'm still going to live my life the way I want to, because I'm not asking anybody to change their life for me. Your rights stop, and I forgot the saying, where mine begin. I don't care. I'm going to do that, and it's getting to the point where now we can't go out because somebody may. No, I'm not a man, or I'm a cat.
Well, I
Well, I'm
self-identify
a pit
as
bull, and I don't like
a-
cats, so I'm going to fucking goddamn kick the shit out of you.
Well, I'm not a
There's
biologist.
a
I'm
lot
not
of
a
pussies out
biologist,
there in
Javier.
this world. A lot of cats.
Yeah, there is a lot of pussy cats. I agree. And
Hey, I'm not a biologist.
But I know a
thought the
woman when I
only-
see it.
no,
See her.
but there's a Y chromosome. Let me just tell y'all, if y'all need to look this shit up, I even
Why?
remember that.
Why?
There's a Y chromosome. There's a difference. If you got it, you're one way. If you don't, you're the other.
Yeah, you
I
have
don't
to
even wanna go into that.
believe in equality, but I don't think there's equality in biology. I think you can believe in equal rights, but that's something different than equality, and
Well,
that's,
yes,
that's the
equal
whole.
rights.
that's the whole
Special
word spin.
privileges.
That's
how
the
many
whole word spin
Rights
of the
I'm
problem.
for. I'm not for special privileges.
And then you get like people that are transgender that work that go to women's sports or miss pageants, and then it just becomes like, or a Bud Light commercial. You probably knew about that one. And then it just becomes something that you think, it's just ESG norms. Thank you, Larry Flink of BlackRock. Great fan of your work. Did you know that 20% of your ESG points are for transgendered LHBTQ
Yeah.
word soup,
All right.
plus
You know where
Yeah.
that comes from,
marketing
Steak?
materials? Yeah, but not
Steak,
20%, not 20% of society identifies with it. So I'm not
No.
saying it's
No.
bad. I'm saying it's disproportionate. That's the point I want to make. And I don't hear that argument anywhere that it's disproportionate. So do better. But they don't do better because they want to keep the left a little bit. So, the right's going to agitate on it. And then, they like that. And then people get pitted against one another. And then they're like, yeah, I'm going to move
That's the
some
whole
money to
goal.
Ukraine.
Well, let me
That's the
ask
whole
you this,
thing.
Steak. How bad is it in the Netherlands? It's terrible here. It's absolutely
That's not bad in
terrible.
the Netherlands. It's just
No,
the
here
entire
in some
system. It's
states,
disproportionate.
Yeah.
in some states
To the
you could practically
population.
go to jail if
Yeah,
you
it's
call somebody by the
disproportionate.
wrong fucking gender.
So
That's bullshit.
all I'm saying is get the fuckery out of it everywhere. That's all I'm saying.
Get
I
the
don't I
fuck.
don't care. Get the fuckery out of it. That's
Just
it.
be honest.
Yeah, everywhere.
Why does every commercial that I see it has, and again, not that this is the case. I mean, it happens, but you always see, a black woman and a white guy in a commercial. I mean, and it's like I look down the, and I see that in a lot of commercials, and I'm like, why do we have, or vice versa? It doesn't matter. Why do we have all these commercials out there when every time I walk down the street, I really don't see that, in my own personal life? So why is that being projected on the screen? Why is it that, I see, people who have a certain belief and what the,
Yeah.
and I don't disagree with anybody.
Can I
You
can I
do whatever
ask you
want
another question, Clint?
as long as you don't come to me and tell me how to live. Yeah, go ahead.
Why do commercials about maxi pads and tampons are always white and clean? Why are people that are talking about dentistry and toothpaste always in a doctor coat? Why is our commercials about candy or Nutella always with people with white shiny teeth? I mean, it just doesn't make fucking sense. Everything is
No, that
bullshit.
doesn't.
And there,
It doesn't. It's all bullshit. It is all bullshit because you got to look at what you see in your
Marketing.
real life. Exactly. It's all marketing. And when you've got the money, when you've got unlimited funds, when it's all CIA, probably shouldn't have said that, but when it's all three-letter agency sponsored, Alphabet Soup sponsored, because that's what it is. Because it's been in Congress. They've exposed it, and then nothing's being done about it because there's so much that can be printed to buy these people off. Hey, here's a suitcase full of cash. Well, what's that mean?
and your
Doesn't
stocks
matter.
will go
We
up.
can print up more.
Your stocks will go up.
Yeah, you just.
Well,
And
the problem
have you noticed
started.
Hey, Blind Dave.
The problem
Pull
started
up the
when all.
pharmaceutical companies. Pull up Pfizer's chart, and you see it tanking, and you see it cratering. Why is that?
Are you bullish? Are you bullish?
Yes, because what's going to happen is they're going to prop that up, and that's why there's another pandemic coming. I mean, because they got to prop that stuff up so certain people can get wealthy. And it's
So
all an agenda.
now pandemics are a marketing mechanic. Great.
Yes.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Love
Somebody
your
make
work.
money on it.
Love your work.
Somebody is making. Invest in Uber Eats. I mean, if it's coming again,
Yeah.
what else do you
Take
do?
away.
I mean,
Take it away.
we are being bull. Here's where we. This is on purpose. And being a person of color, or some people consider me a person of color, being Latino. Listen,
If I
the
stay out in the
best
sun
man
long
should get
enough,
the
I'll be a
job.
person of color.
If I
won't be
can't,
white,
I
I'll be
shouldn't have the
brownish.
opportunity to go to college because I am Latino, even though there's a lot smarter person that should be there so they can meet an ethnic balance. I see that coming. I saw that coming a long time ago. I'm not saying that there hasn't been discrimination. I'm not saying,
Hey,
but we
Javier.
need to start looking for the most valuable people and not making excuses because that's not what we're all about.
Well,
At
not
least
people
in
make
my eyes.
excuses, but at least government. Has Spain ever apologized for the genocide in South America?
Of course not.
Oh, they haven't. Oh, that's convenient.
No. Neither have the English when we came in and we fucking wiped out the. We're still wiping out Indians.
But it would
American
probably
Indians.
clear a lot of
We're still
moral.
wiping out natives. Look at Maui.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're still
Not we,
wiping
but,
out
the
natives
system is still
because
doing it.
we want it. The system is broken, State. I think that because maybe you don't live here and you're very well in tuned about what goes on here, but in a different form, we get to see it to where they completely take advantage of the people in their worst fucking time. And for people that have testosterone, that believe in the truth, when I see that, I go, that's bullshit. That's bullshit when we did that. Let me call more bullshit. It's bullshit when we ran a fucking pipeline because we needed oil. You go around it.
You know
we
what
had
the
a
problem
deal
is,
or we
Javier?
paid dearly.
Let's go back to basics. When you see a baby, like a real fucking genuine baby, young person, doesn't matter. There are
Yeah.
certain prime emotions. One of them is anger. Why is anger
Yeah.
not allowed? I mean, it doesn't have to linger, but why is it not allowed? Like
Yeah.
everywhere in society, we're being frowned upon when we're angry. And I'm like, why not? It's fucking healthy. Be angry
It is
sometimes. Don't
healthy.
stay angry the entire time. Maybe get a boxing glove and hit a wall or something or a bag. I mean, but why not? Why not pent up that anger?
Agreed.
I mean, that's when you don't get testosterone. If you boil it all up, I mean, you got to let that go out. I mean, shape it. You make something out of that anger. You know,
Exactly.
use it to channel yourself and build something, create something.
Well, I'm
Build
going to tell you,
yourself. Build
probably the
yourself.
people in, I know at least Dave and Clint and myself probably got our ass kicked, and we did a little kicking ass growing up, but it gave you a
Yes.
certain sense of respect that you're going to win some, and sometimes the one you thought you really had it whooped
Yeah, but we're
came
keeping
up and just
everything
beat the
short.
shit out of you. I mean,
Kids can't be kids anymore. They're just being
we can't be
loaded
kids
with
No,
anymore.
look at puppies. Look at puppies and how they interact. And like, oh my god, they're
Thank
so high
you.
strung.
That's a
Oh my
great,
god,
great.
they bite each other and they're nuts. They're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, and then kids are the same way. Well, we need to medicate them. We need to tone them down. They need to participate. They need to calm
Throw
down.
them behind the television.
What agenda
Yeah,
are
Throw 'em
they
behind
we
on?
the
need to
television.
level this out. And it's like, no, that's not what life is. It's not about being level. It's about here or there, like the freaking chart that Dave
It's
just
about
threw up.
life.
It's like boom,
It's
boom, boom,
about
up and
life.
down. That's what we are. And to stifle that, to make us with all the it might cause a heart to explode, but it might solve freaking indigestion. Take this pill. Might solve your ADHD, and all this stuff. Don't get me started on that because
You're good. There's going to be a kid that walks in and feels like he's entitled and nobody should say anything to him into the wrong fucking room, and he's going to get a royal ass
and you know what?
whooping.
He'll learn a lesson, and then he'll become
And
your best friend.
he
because
will
you
be
knocked
one
him
of the
out.
few that did learn from that because
Yeah.
it's part of it. Even if you weren't in a fight, you saw a fight. You understood
You're like, whoa.
two disagreements.
Exactly.
There may have been a little bit of a bloody nose. It was never more than a minute. It wasn't more than pushing and being thrown down on the ground. It wasn't.
But do you
What
remember?
you're seeing now?
Do you remember
ahead.
that when you were young? I mean, we're all guys. Do you remember when you were young and you probably had a fight at some time with a guy you
Oh,
just
yeah.
met when you were younger, and then you ended up being best friends?
Yeah,
That's what
you
a
know,
bully.
you were
See, here's the thing with a
Hey,
bully.
you just, yeah.
When a bully
Yeah.
just constantly pecks and hits and does, all these things. Go back to A Christmas Story. It's a perfect analogy for all of you that like to watch TV and learn vicariously. Watch the movies. Christmas Story is going to be coming up. It's going to be playing on TNT for the next 3 months leading up to Christmas. But you got this bully. This looks like a fox. He's got the hat on. And he picks on the kid, and then finally Ralphie gets had enough, and he starts wailing on him, beating the crap out of him. And that's it. It's over.
It's
a
over.
bully will only exert his energy until someone punches him in the face, and then they're okay. We're good.
Yeah, so
Because-
is that an analogy that maybe the working class has to punch the bourgeoisie and the
Yes,
aristocracy in their face?
absolutely, and that's what
So
they
let's
want.
you know
We're
what you
gonna
want you want
We're
something
going to
fun?
keep doing it
We
until you
probably
punch
can't
back.
push. We probably can't punch the aristocracy in their face or the intelligence service, but
You
we
can do it in
can
different
probably.
ways.
No. We can do something more fun. We can do something. You brought me on a good idea. So let the lower and middle class punch the higher class in their face, so they no longer
Thank
support
you.
the aristocracy but support the lower and the middle class. Let's increase our group a little bit. Let's just
Yeah.
punch the upper class in their face first. So let's just go after Let's just go after some assholes that probably don't
let me
deserve it
let
and
me
say,
help you,
yeah, you're
Steak.
just in the way,
I think
man.
that's coming.
You're just
Let
in the
me help you,
fucking way.
Steak.
Get out of the
Let me
fucking
help
way.
you, Steak. When the middle class start dropping off, guess who's next in the middle class?
The middle class
You.
has already dropped off.
Exactly, but there is going to be grabbing from you, the bottom of the top class.
Javier,
They don't get that.
we know how fucked the dollar is and what's happening with BRICS, and we know what's coming in the next, I'll be gentle, 5 to 7 years, 2 to 5 to 7 years. We know what's coming. And then at some point, that inflation is going to increase tremendously. It's going to, I'm a bit jealous of Clint. I'm a bit jealous.
Take a look. He's pouring it slowly. Takes a look on a nice ice cold ice cube.
You won't like that. Don't drink it. You won't like it. No, I'm sure you won't like that. Yeah. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not good for you. Give something to some other people too. You've had enough.
He's saving some for you. I know Clint. He's got some there for you. Yeah, he's got some for you.
If I'm ever there, for sure, I'll give you a bottle. I'll bring a bottle of something.
Yeah,
some nice 25-year-old. Like the good stuff.
Chivas Royal Salute, Glenfiddich.
I'll bring 2 bottles, one to drink and one to keep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's how you give a present, 2 bottles. One to drink because you want to know how it tastes like, and one to keep behind just for special occasions so you can say, I know what this tastes like and now I need it.
Then he'll make you sign it. It's okay. I'll be there to sign mine.
I don't know if I need to sign shit, but I will. I'll just slap a ribeye on it.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Nice.
No, it's been good.
Life elixir happening right there in the moment. Father bartender Clint Westwood, give us our daily spirits.
I think we had another great show. We got 15 minutes. I'm waiting for 5 minutes to re-mention Digibyte right before we get off, just to stir up Steak.
Yeah. Sure. It's just, yeah. Cheers. Prost.
Cheers, salud.
Absolutely. Blind Dave, I want to ask you something. Can you pull up a picture of Baphomet?
What's Baphomet?
Yeah, pull it up, Dave. BAPH, hooked on phonics, Baphomet, like phone PH, BAPHOMET.
I never came across that word before. What is it?
Yeah, pull up an image of Baphomet. Yeah, Baphomet.
Baphomet.
Yeah.
Baphomet. Okay, it sounds a bit diabolical, like an ancient devil. Baphomet.
It is.
Really, it is?
Yeah, it is. You're on the wavelength,
Oh, really? Baphometical.
Yeah,
it's like
you're born with it. Baphomet.
Baphomet.
Yeah,
it sounds like ball.
Yes,
like Mephisto.
It's the same thing. It really is.
Oh, rainbows and butterflies. That's cute. Cute picture, Dave. You got great taste.
Yep.
Love the rainbows.
You can see the breasts and the whole image because it's important. It goes along with what we're talking about.
I agree. Breasts are important.
Yes, they are. But not in this context.
I want to be inclusive.
That's mother's milk.
Yes. But
sure.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. If you pull up those images and you look at what it is, it's like a hermaphrodite.
It's like a depiction of Satan, like the goat,
pretty much.
The fallen angel.
Look at it, it's got both genders. And if you really want to go down the rabbit
symbolism.
hole, yes, it's very symbolic of where these people are coming from. And I think everybody needs to do their homework because that's the end goal. They want everybody to be basically
multi-sex.
Yes. That's really what it is. Because
I've always wanted to have a pussy for a day.
Good God. What the fuck am I in?
Can you imagine if you have a period right on that day?
Yeah, that you would have.
That would be just my luck, wouldn't it? I would just, I've invested in Digibyte. Now I got the pussy for one day and I'm on a period. Jesus Christ. Such a lucky strike I'm on.
Just don't tweet on that day, all right? Just stay off social media on that day
Yeah,
because
I
it
know.
might not go well.
But you know where my temper is coming from. I'm usually not
I
like
do,
this,
I
but
understand it, but no, I mean
yeah, I'm sorry.
it's an important concept because it goes back historically and what we're seeing right now, and that's why to tie it all back into what we're all involved in, to what we are a part of. I mean, face it, like it or not, we're all spiritual beings inhabiting this body on this planet right now. We came here for a reason. We manifested right now for a reason. I mean, we really did. That's why we're having this discussion. That's why we're having
We're
this
all
fight.
sentient. We all have a
Yeah.
consciousness.
I don't need to have the fight. I don't need to have the discussion. I already know what the end game is. The end game is, I'm happy taking the dogs out to go pee and go poop and smoke a cigar in the yard, put my feet on the grass. I mean, I know, what nature is, and that's an important thing. But the problem is people want to deviate from that. They want to skew that. They want to skew it into an unnatural reality. And what you're seeing playing out right now is an unnatural reality. And with unlimited money, that can be funded and that can be projected into our faces. And that's what we're seeing right now in this existence, in this time that we're in. And so I've struggled with this my whole life. And the thing I came back to is, all right, what's at the core of this? What's at the root of it? What's the root cause? What allows these people that really aren't human to exist and to flourish in this world? It's the money. It really is. They have unlimited control of the money. They have the ability to create all the malinvestment, all the three-letter agencies, all the propaganda, everything that we find as an anathema to humanity. They have the ability to do that. And it's a long, dark path that they've gotten to this point to where there's no sound money anymore. Just get people to buy into a belief today. And that's what we're seeing put right in front of our faces. And so now we have an opportunity. We do with this digital money, with this thing, this intangible thing that, we bitch and moan and complain about. And we're like, oh, why are these people doing these things to us? Why are they, manipulating things? But at the end of the day, we realize the math. We understand what that is. And we understand, it's a finite asset. It's something that represents a weapon, an economic weapon in the control of the future of our energy. We can put our energy into something that we can hold, we can control, and we can use at a later date. Use now, use at a later date, doesn't matter. Other people are buying this stuff up. Why are they buying it up? Why are they trying to accumulate these weapons? And why are they trying to discourage us, through whatever means to obfuscate the truth and, oh, well, I'm not getting involved in this, that, whatever it is. But when you understand it at a core level, at a spiritual level, because that's what we're here for, we're spiritual beings here incarnated in a shell of a, meat bag. When we understand that and we know that, wait a minute, we've got this ethereal weapon that is going to be able to be used however we want to use it in the future, and they're trying to discourage us from getting it, you got to ask yourself, why am I not getting it if I'm not getting it? Because it's all about having something that can wield that control, that narrative, that whether it's bad, whether it's good, we have to understand that we've got the ability to accumulate those things and be able to fire those weapons at a certain point that have maximum firepower, charging up, because that's what we're doing right now until 2025. Loading up. We're not firing. We're complaining. We're upset. We're mad. And they're doing the same thing. But it's like, nope, I'm going to get more of it. Because when it comes time to fight that ultimate battle, we're going to be ready. And if you're not ready and you're still participating in the illusion that they create, if you're still sitting down at the table in that vampire casino, because that's what it is, you walk in there and you say, everything's fine. I'm still playing the game. The air conditioning's on. It's all good. I got the football game on. I got CNN on. Everything's great. It's comfortable here. They're bringing me drinks. They're bringing me food. I'm good. But then you think, wait a minute, is this really a good place to be? How am I free? I'm sitting on a freaking stool. My ass is glued to it by choice. You have to realize that you have a choice to say, you know what? I'm going to pick my ass up and I'm going to walk out. because I don't want to play this game anymore. Because I know at any point they can come take me down to the bottom of the basement and crack my knuckles and take a hammer to me. Because they make the rules. You know what? Get out of that system to where they make the rules. They want the weapons you have, and they want to convince you not to have those weapons. Take those weapons. Take Digibyte. Take Litecoin. Take Bitcoin. Whatever it is. Get out of that system. Walk out of that casino and be free so that you can go do whatever you want. It's walking out into the desert and passing out, cool. But, if it's, whatever you want to do, you've got the ability to do that now. You do not have to be part of a system that they've created, this matrix influence, this digital matrix that they've been, they're trying to transform us into. Understand what they're doing, get ahead of the game, and take those weapons and walk out and do what you want to do. You got to know who you are. You got to trust yourself. You got to understand where you come from. I mean, you really do. Don't let them steer the narrative. Make your own narrative. Be who you are. And you know what? Whatever consequences come, may come. Doesn't matter. But the thing is, you're not going to live a life of regret. You're not going to look back and say, well, I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't do it. And here I am. No, screw that. Why are you following these orders?
Yeah.
Be you.
Well said, Clint. I really, like I said, I definitely
be the person you were born to be. Is what it comes
have
down
enough
to.
balls to be that person.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. By the way, did he want to come on the show now? I'm willing to stick around.
It's probably going to be for next week. We're already at.
Oh, okay. Either way, I mean, no problem. If that's the case, hey, I was going to ask Steak. Digibyte womanly monthly cycle, if he had any comment on it does cycle. It is cyclical that every month it every 30 day every month
ovulates?
it ovulates. No, it has
Every 28 days, is there a
happening.
moon cycle?
We got a full moon.
No, but there is
August 30th,
it's a happening of every 30 days. Is it not?
Yes,
I
the mining reward
guess.
decreases by 1% monthly. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it was
an
just a
adjustment.
coincidence that it's on a womanly
It's the
cycle.
it's the difficulty adjustment, right? Monthly instead of every 4 years.
No, the difficulty adjustment is real time, not like Bitcoin.
Or real time.
where
I'm
it takes
sorry.
2
I'm
weeks
mixing
minimum.
things. It's 1:00 at night. You're completely right. I'm sorry.
But yeah,
No, you're
there's
completely right.
having once a month.
Yeah.
Not happening, but having. It's what's in the dictionary, but whatever. I mean, hodl's not in a dictionary either, and I understand it's crypto, so fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, I
That was
hope
a great
nobody's
threat.
taking language skills from me.
So
but,
I don't have any comments on a women's periodical cycle in Digibyte, but I did want to come back to what Clint said. Clint, it's a big club and you ain't in it, is what George Carlin said in one of his bits. And everything has long been paid for, and they own you. They're the owners. They own you. And you make a great example and case for saying opt out. You have a choice. You have a choice that they don't own you. And I think that becoming awake to the fact is not pessimistic that the world is indeed played the way it is played. It's not fake. This is actually the way it is. We might not know the exact details, but this is the gist of it. And it's not what you probably expected when you were brought up by your parents. And at some point you looked around in the world and said, this doesn't really make sense. This something else is going on. And then you move a little bit longer on this fucking rock. You get a little bit older, and then you see cycles from, hey, I witnessed this 10 years ago. Is this playing out again? And then you move a little bit older, and you're like, hey, this decade and this decade, hey, there's a trend here. And then at some point you're like, oh, fuck, so that's why I'm fucked. That's why I pay taxes. That's why I get pensions. And you're like, can I do that differently? I saved up a little bit of money. Can I start somewhere? And I would say, buy a proof of work UTXO. Diversify, Bitcoin or Litecoin or Digibyte. Diversify in something with good fundamentals. And then get that shit off the exchange. Get that shit off that vampire casino.
Especially now.
Especially now. Now you still can.
Right now.
Buy, stack, DCA, dollar cost average. Be smart about it. even if it's just a little, even if it's $100, doesn't matter. If you can add a few zeros in a few years,
It'll
and the
make a
thing is,
difference.
we like to align things with what's going to happen when. That's difficult. But we like to get into really detailed shit, but it's still conjecture about the future. But we want to make educated guesses, and so we might be wrong in certain timelines. However, the adoption is coming. And I once did
It's
an
coming.
entertaining math question. Here's the entertaining math question. People in AI think that AI and robotics and quantum computing can have a market financially because it's such an innovation that they're going to 10x the global financial economy. So that means that you're going from 1.4 quadrillion to 14 quadrillion, according to some smart people. Long-term game. This is end game. It's growing towards that. It's not where it's at from the get-go. It's growing towards that. So this is end game shit. This might be 20, 30 years from now. Entertaining
So,
thought if you think that Bitcoin would be a reserve currency that you go in and out of as you go into other chains for other things. And if you create, you're on a different chain because you're on a chain where you're creating something. And if you're done creating a little bit because you got profits and you just want to stock it in your Bitcoin is your piggy bank. The entertaining thought is that in such an economy, one Bitcoin would be 38 million.
I wanted to share something right quick. I saw Warrior put down he bought Digibyte. We are all
Yeah,
holders of Digibyte. We all
yeah, we all hold
understand
Litecoin
and
too.
respect
We all hold Bitcoin
respect
too.
where
I
we
think
hope to see Digibyte go. And I just wanted
I
to
do.
make that clear to everybody that, you know what, I think it's a great, if you bought it today and you got a great price, dude, more power to you. It's not, we are bashing because we are looking for more information that I think
No,
is
not.
due
I'm not
to
even.
us.
And I'm not even. I'm not even like. I'm not even bashing. I'm trying to roast the fuck out of people to get a reaction because I think it's not
Thank
the
you.
right way
That's
to
a
go
better
at
Because
it.
word.
you're
But
not
but
getting it
but but
now.
but
That's the
Because
asking
we're
it
reason you're
not
hasn't
not
getting
worked
it
getting it.
now.
neither. Asking it hasn't worked neither. And we're not getting it now. Haven't had it since 2017. I mean, that's 6 years. We've been pretty patient in crypto land with 6 years. I'll be very honest. 6 years is a pretty long fucking time.
Long
And
time in crypto.
a little bit of a glimpse behind what's happening, would be. I think it's not too much to ask, and yeah, and otherwise we'll just have to wait for it. But
No,
and then the problem that they have is they're like, yeah, now we're ready and we're here to tell you, and you won't get your laurels. You
well, you
won't
know
get your
what? And
flowers
right there,
because we don't give a fuck at that point.
I think Dave just showed a thing where Matt Cornelius says he wants to join us next. That would be great. This is what we want. If this triggers people to come on the show and hash it out, I guarantee you we'll be polite. I guarantee you we can work around whatever you need to work around. We are looking for more information, and we feel that we've been stifled from that information. This is why we're going rogue right now, and we will go through any way to get it, including poking the bear with a very small stick. We don't give a shit. We want information, and we feel that we've been kept. Maybe we haven't. Come and explain your position on it, Jared. That goes for you too. That goes for you
And
too.
Reggie
Come on up
Middleton.
here. You will be treated with respect on Hash It Out. But we will ask questions. There won't
Yeah,
be no, you can't.
I do wanna add one comment. If that's happening, I want preparation time for serious questions because otherwise I'm just gonna go on a top of mind, and uh,
Yeah, me, I don't need any notice, but rightfully so. We have questions that we've been wanting to ask, and we've been asking each other for the last year, and so we want answers, and we realize that you may not be able to answer all the questions. We will respect that. We understand if you can't speak about something.
No,
But
actually, I don't
I
understand.
want to open up that door because I want them to know that they are welcome here to a hash. This is what we're
I know,
about.
Javier, but you and I differ because you and and respectfully, if they don't want to talk about it, I won't push it because that doesn't make any sense. So there's no need, there's no sense in pushing it. But I won't understand it that they keep their mouth shut for reasons that I've laid out in the previous 2 hours. I won't take that position. There's no understanding from my
Good.
side.
No, no,
I won't push
I'm
on
just
it. I
trying to
won't
bring it
push on
out.
it if the answer is no and they won't elaborate. That's fine. I respect boundaries, but I don't understand it, and I refuse to understand.
Okay, and that's like I said. This is where is this the time that we start bringing this, and we bring more communities and more coins or tokens, and start bringing the questions. We're going to do it to XRP. We're going to do it to. We're wanting more information, and we're digging in deep, and it will be a respectful, not a
No.
hey, I probably
Yeah.
won't have much to say unless it goes into my topic of knowledge. I know nothing about tech, but I do have opinions of things that have been suppressed from what information I've dug into. And if I could get them answered, great. If I can't, well, then that's all understandable. But
You know, it's
more
very. I'll
power,
be
and
very
I'm glad
honest,
that he at least reached out to
Javier.
us and
I'll
said
tell
he's
you one thing.
interested.
I'll tell you one thing. I've always been, the reason why I'm becoming less respectful and less impatient, because I've always been respectful and just linking things and actually educating and informing the community. And I'm banned from Sovereign Edge EU and LCX because they don't want me to link things. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
things that they actually brought out and posted on online themselves.
yes,
So I get banned for a retweet. I get banned for saying, hey, look at this, guys, hashtag
that's
this and this.
bullshit.
I get banned
That's
for
bullshit.
that. So that's okay if no, it's okay. They're in their right to do that. But then also understand that you're creating this version of me.
Yes,
So you're welcome.
exactly. And more power. Like I said, that goes for, put it this way, there'll be a time that I want to, I mean, there's more questions to be answered for Reggie Middleton. There's more questions that we have for other guests. We are here to hash it out. It will be
I'm telling you one
respectful.
thing,
It will be,
you won't
uh,
get your flowers.
well,
So your
but
life's work, fuck it.
it doesn't really matter to me. I'm still in it for the truth. And as we all are, we're all men of our own beliefs. Until
What
I'm
I don't
proven
get,
wrong,
Javier, is
I see things the way I see them, and it's not that you will
Javier,
change
answer me
anything of
one
my
thing. I
mind
want to ask you a
or he
question.
will. Uh
I
huh.
want to ask you a question. Why
Sure.
would anyone in such a position that's building want to stain their own legacy?
Right.
Stain. Well, you have to explain what you mean by stain their own legacy.
Tarnish.
Well, stain if you yeah,
I
tarnish.
don't see
Is that
how
all
he's
correct?
doing that. I don't see if we're referring to Reggie. I don't see how he's stating it.
No, we're not referring to Reggie at all in this manner, but I meant more about people in the Digibyte community that are building
Oh, in the
things.
Digibyte community, I'm
And I don't want I want to make it very clear before we get another 7 seconds that get misquoted. This isn't about Reggie Middleton. I believe the guy is classy as fuck, has been very patient and actually been transparent as so far he's possible to do that, and actually looks out for the community on various channels on social media to bring us along his journey. So I want to correct that if that's necessary. This is not at all about Reggie, not at all.
well, like I said, if it is, I know that he's been a man. I asked him once. I was in a Digibyte space, and I asked him, and he said, "Send a link." I didn't even know what the damn link is. That's how little I know about computers. And I was like, "God damn it! I don't even know how to do that." I still have the time that I tried to bring it in, and it was for more information even back then. So if we are about the truth, that we are about hashing it out, and we are let's bring the players that we truly
Yeah, but you can't hash without
respect.
transparency.
Yeah, and well, and as long as if they can't, I can understand things that can't be said. Well, we will. It doesn't stop us from looking in our own way. And I think that that's one thing that I've respected about Reggie. He's allowed it. He said, "Hey, if it's out there, bring it up. Okay, bring it up."
So
If
my
it's
question
been
is,
said before.
why in the Digibyte community, why would they want to tarnish their own work? Why
That
would they?
scares
Why
me.
would they want to? Why would they want to
Well,
do
and
that?
until
I
we
mean,
get an
that doesn't
answer,
make sense neither, does it?
no, it doesn't. Until we get an answer, we will go there. Is it a sabotage? I don't
So it's
know.
just, I just think it's very
Is it a
stupid
control
not to.
thing?
I just
Money
think it's
thing?
very stupid not to take the community into
Yeah.
your journey.
Thank you. You know what? And we appreciate that, Steak, because I bring up some questions, but you bring up some really, 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 really good questions, and that I appreciate. That's why I listen to the show. And if I wasn't on the show, I would be listening because those are the things that you want to go and research yourself, man. And if
Hey.
it was about Litecoin, I'd be in the same boat. Or anything that even if it was about other coins that I truly value, I want to know what your opinion is because that's going to make me stronger. Avoiding it makes me I'm not going to say the word. It makes me the P word, but realizing the weakness will only give me strength and knowledge of what direction we're going to. And right now, I can see where a lot of things have been stifled. But if it has been, then we need to know about it or keep avoiding it and we'll figure it out. I'll read your face and I'll tell you how I feel. And that's how I judge most of the people. That's how I judge Reggie Middleton. I by no means know the tech that he's talking about, but I know he's man enough to go on to spaces and take questions from the audience. And can all of them be answered? No, they can't. But that's where my respect comes for that particular person.
Well, that's why we
Digibyte,
hash it out, Javier. And
that's why we hash it out, my brother.
Before we end this, and I know we're way over time. We want to keep it to 2 hours, but we've got somebody in the chat, Dave. Regulation is coming, and if you're not KYC, you're done. If you don't, and if you don't know tech, blah blah blah, you can't hash out anything if you're not KYC. You don't even know tech. You shouldn't be speaking at all. So is that where we're going? I guess that's the fundamental thing. Do we need to KYC, know your customer? That's what it means.
All I know is I have to
progress in this world.
All I know is by holding my own keys, I still have my shit. And I don't give a shit where I go. I still have my own fee. And you're right. I may not be able to cash out here.
Right.
So let's talk about
there may be
regulation.
somebody that's interested.
Let's talk about
Clint may be
KYC
interested in
regulation.
some of the shit that I hold.
So yeah, it's absolutely where we're going.
Steak.
Let's address it. So
Yeah,
you got
sure.
KYC, know your customer. What does that mean? It means you identify with your identity, with your wallet, and that can be done in multiple ways. And the most common one that we used to have, and it will be more elaborate in the future, is through that video of yours and scanning your passport through an NFC chip. And then they're registered, and there's an API between exchanges that if you register with one, there's actually a KYC database. So just some inside knowledge.
Well, and not only that,
and the thing is that when regulation comes, Javier, then the burden of proof the burden of proof on KYC isn't on the customer, it's on the exchange. So the exchange has to be compliant with KYC. And if they aren't compliant with KYC, they aren't legally compliant to operate in that country, or they get a penalty or a fee, and eventually they go out of business. So here's the problem.
Thank you for explaining that, Steak. I really appreciate that because I wanted to know that. Yeah, if you have your coin, then you have your coin.
Well, if you have your coins on an exchange, and you want to get them out, you can't transfer them without KYC.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, right? So you can do that. However, if you already are in a cold storage and you don't want, for whatever reason, because maybe you don't believe in the system, or you don't want to make anyone any the wiser, or you're like, fuck that, this is my money. And maybe you don't even have any fraudulent or criminal,
Yeah,
agenda. You
no.
just don't fucking like the rules. That's okay, but realize that the ways in which you'll be able to make trades will become increasingly more difficult,
Difficult,
because
sure.
you could eventually do that for like a maze in the net, which is, for example, right now a DEX, a DEX, a decentralized exchange. They are kind of a conundrum in this whole regulation, because who owns that, and it's just out there, and can how will that interact with fiat? That's an interesting, very interesting
Well,
angle that we don't hear a lot about, Javier. And then there's like, what does that mean with KYC? Well, let me bring in an OG. Give me 2 minutes. All right, well, fine. And the KYC, again, the burden is on the exchanges, and they have to be compliant with EU regulation in September, October 2024. So that's when the real shit happens, which means if the next bull run is in March 2025, 6 months later, this is going to be an issue for your next bull run when you want to sell.
so let's bring
If you
up
want,
a point that Dave made the other day. Multi-wallets. Okay, I've got this wallet. It's fucking
Javier,
now worth. It's worth. It's
Javier,
worth
no, that doesn't work,
50
because
million.
you're just extending the timeline of having to deal with the reality.
Yeah.
Exactly, but you know what? How many people lost the wallet, and then they found it, and then you come back. You need more money after you spent your 50 fucking mil.
The thing
you
is,
need more, and you find that wallet that was lost.
simple.
You
Let's
just
just
bring it
talk
back
about
in, and you pay your
let's
taxes or whatever.
talk about
I'm
the
not going
elephant
to
in
give
the
my
room exactly. Javier, let's talk about the elephant in the room exactly. It's
Let's
taxes.
talk
That's
about
it. It's taxes. That's it.
taxes,
And
of course.
if you don't, it's very simple. If you don't pay your taxes, you're allowed to do that. But realize there's different laws in different countries.
Sure.
Realize you're allowed to do that, but you're gonna have repercussions from, at least in America, the IRS. Good luck dealing with that.
Let's get this clear.
That's your conundrum.
Let's get
like,
that
if
clear.
you don't want to comply with that, sure, but I'm not like that. I pay my taxes.
When do we pay to? Let me ask Dave. When do we pay taxes? When we cash out. You can't come after me because we don't know that Bitcoin won't go to zero. And it goes to 1 million in 5 years.
But Javier,
and in
what
7
you're
years
saying,
it goes to zero.
Javier,
so you're going to tell me I'm going to be paid taxes on everything the fuck I have?
No. What you're saying is one angle of an argument of a tax law that was in one certain country at one certain time. But the thing is that created a situation where people with a lot of money went to like Portugal at some point, Germany, and they moved around. They go to the Bahamas, they go to the islands, to different countries that have different laws and don't have to pay taxes. We lost Clinton, by the way, and eventually we are going to have the same laws in the EU. And I think that we're going to have the same laws in the US, not state laws, but federal laws. And I am also of the conjecture that we're probably going to see the same laws in the EU in the US, or in the US in the EU. I think that's going to be the same framework for taxes, Javier.
Yeah, most people aren't fighting that stake. Put it this way: if you're talking the numbers that that you were talking about with me, I don't mind if I have to give half the motherfucking shit away. I'm still set for my fucking short life, so I don't want to look over my shoulder. The
only thing you want to do is be smart about it.
Well, and at that point, take advantage of people that know. And there are different communities. There's different. Put it this way: if I have to give to a government that is spending it unlike the way I want, and I could give it to a 5013 or whatever the hell Dave calls
501c3.
That I actually give to, and it actually improves
Welcome back, Clint.
my standing.
Thank you.
Then of course that's the route that I'm going to take. I want to take advantage, and here's the thing of us having a group. We have each other to bounce shit off of. And if there's better opportunities in other places, hell, if I could have a political voice in another fucking country, and I've got the fucking money to throw at it, why wouldn't I throw it at a fucking politician over there? And it's not to gain anything. I don't
Well,
live
Javier,
there.
I'll
I
tell you.
just
I'll
want to
tell you one thing,
support
Javier.
what's being
I,
supported.
I don't care about you. I mean, you do you, but I'm not
Mhm.
gonna address people of a lack of morality and then do the same thing.
That's what, well, and all I want to do is do the right thing, mind my own business, help. I want to live my life. This is what the Constitution said. I want to just live it, be freed. I don't want to be bothered.
I just want
I'm
to
not going
say
to do
something to
anything
the
wrong.
comment in the chat, VChain. If you want to be smart, you'll be KYC. Like the whole grammar there is kind of fucked
Eventually
up.
I
We
will,
won't be.
but I don't
We
have to
won't
do it
be
right now.
we won't be KYC. The burden is on the exchange. Exchanges are KYC. Exchanges have know your
Exchanges are
customers because they know the customer. I don't know my customer. I am the fucking customer. I identify as myself. It's like KYC, AML, all those laws are exchange laws. They're not individual laws. And you are a customer of the exchange, and they will lay down KYC laws upon you. So
let's just put it
look
like
into
this.
Tom Emmer. Look into Tom Emmer. Yeah, what about Tom Emmer?
Let's put it like this.
Isn't he from Phoenix, Phoenix, Arizona, building the smart city? I follow him for a few years now. What about Tom Emmer?
All right, here's the thing. Here's what I look at.
Did Clint freeze for me?
Okay.
Yeah, he froze it, but you look good in that
I'm all
picture.
messed up. I had to switch phones, all that stuff, because I do it on the phone, not the laptop. It's not plugged in. When the battery goes dead.
Ah,
it goes dead.
thanks.
Yeah.
But
so
you
I'm
still
on a
look
different-
good. Don't worry about it.
Thanks, brother. Love you, brother.
Oh,
Take a
shit.
screenshot.
Go ahead.
Already did.
So
No, just kidding.
here's what I look at. I mean, yeah, I get KYC. If you want to participate and continue to do the same thing, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Yeah, KYC, get into the system and profit from it in that casino. Get those poker chips. I mean, that's how I look at it. But what I have right here is the Bitcoin white paper. I mean, this is the thing that started it all. And let me just read it again because I feel like I have to read
Yeah, please.
this all
Peer
the
to
time.
peer, right?
All the time. The abstract, the beginning. This is the genesis. I mean, this is what it is. This is the abstract of the Bitcoin white paper. If you haven't read it, you need to go read it because this is what freedom is all about. This is the whole reason why we're here, why we created this thing, why we participate in this thing and give our energy to something that is ethereal, that's out there in the middle of nowhere.
And also why we don't want paper Bitcoin from BlackRock.
Yeah.
Right. Real stuff. We want real stuff in our
and we're
hands.
okay. We're okay with that guy going and KYCing all over the place. If that's your
fine.
choice, brother,
That's fine.
go
if you
do
want to
it.
participate in the corporate system, if you want to be a citizen, if you want to be that person, do it.
We're not
You
even
wanna
going to
think
judge
you're
you.
you want to make more casino chips in that vampire casino? Fine. That's all right. I'm all right with that. I'm not going
Go
to
do
participate.
it.
That's why I don't go to Las Vegas. But anyway, the Bitcoin abstract is this: a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. That's the first statement.
That's what I've got
That
to
sums it
say.
up. The ability to send your value, your energy to another person outside of a financial institution, which is KYC. I mean, you don't need to do that. You work for your living. You work all your whole life, Javier. You build a business. Great shave ice. Everybody wants it, and you're like, okay, I can't take it. I can't put any more energy into this. I'm going to take the energy I have built up, the things I've done. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to exit. I'm going to go wherever I want. I'm going to use that value that I've created as a human being and take that and do what I want with it. You've stored your energy up. I mean, and that's the whole concept of Bitcoin that people don't realize anymore, is that you have the ability to store up that energy, your life, in a battery that doesn't leak, like the fiat dollar that leaks out every day, leaks out value. It holds that value. And there are many other coins that do that. And that's what we talk about. We talk about Litecoin. We talk about Digibyte because it's the next wave. But if we don't have the ability to take our energy and do what we want with it outside of government, outside of KYC, outside of them knowing what we do, then who are we? What do we have? What is our life worth? Because if we have to ask for permission, then who are we? We're just slaves.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go do this with my money? Oh, well, let me make sure I know who you are, and I want to know who you are.
And we're all for it.
And trace you.
Yeah, we're all for it. You want to be that person?
That's the core of everything that we're involved in. And that's why it's like, well, Bitcoin might have got hijacked. Okay, I'm going to go over here. It's the freedom. Bud Light, you sold out.
And it's the community.
I'm not drinking Bud Light. I'll drink something else.
It's the community. If Clint is still willing, and he lives right next to a cornfield, and I need corn, and he's willing to accept the bullshit Litecoin that I have in my wallet, who the fuck is there to stop me? Yeah, who the?
Max,
why are you stopping that transaction?
Give me
it's a piece of shit. Well, great, give it to him.
Give me the shit.
Yeah.
Give me more
as
shit.
long as he believes it and he believes in the community, we have value. And all of a sudden, I think that's what they're worried about, because there will always be a black market. There always is a black. I can always catch a fish, and I can trade my fish for that corn. And there's always going to be. It happens every single day in third world countries. That's what they know. And if you think they're going to stop fishing, or they're going to put a price tag, they're going to go put a QR code on that fish, they're not going to do that. They're going to trade it for some pork. They're going to trade it for the tortillas. They're going to trade it for... Look, it may happen one day, but it ain't going to happen in my fucking lifetime. 20 years isn't enough to be able to put QR codes on every fish that's born out in that fucking ocean. Every corn kernel.
Javier, can you all the millennials, all the people younger than us, it's all about experience. I'm going to go here and experience this and that. Don't care about housing. I don't care about all these things that, baby boomers, have put value into. I put value into real life. I put value into these things. And you know what? If you come here and you show up, and I say, hey, you look at it, you're like, man, you got that bottle of whiskey, you got that gun, you got this thing, I really want that. What am I going to say? Do I take cash? Am I going to say, hey, I need to KYC you? I don't know your last name, and I don't know your last name, Javier. And Blind Dave,
we don't need to.
Steak, I don't even know who you are. It doesn't matter. If you say, I want that thing that you have, I'm going to say, pay me in Litecoin, pay me in Digibyte. And I have it, and I'm like, okay, here, take it. Because I'm good with that trade. You don't need to know who I am. Why do we have to KYC for that stuff? And see, that's what it really comes down to. So
as soon as you see it in your wallet,
to participate in that system.
Thank you. Thank you, Clint, for putting it so clearly for me. You hit it on the head. As soon as you see it on your wallet, who the fuck?
It's like,
who cares?
I got what I want.
It's happy. Like dollar bills. Here's a dollar bill.
Or you can stay here and drink. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's up to you.
I don't know who you are because I know who you are. I don't need to know your last name. I don't need to know your driver's license. I don't need to verify. I know that Oso's going to come up and, hey, you want a little water? You want a little piece of bread? It doesn't matter. I don't need to know Oso's identity. I know who Oso is. I know who you are. And it's just people that participate in this virtual casino, they think that, we got to know who everybody is. It's like, no, that's not what it's all about. It's all about hugs, man. It's all about real. It's all about being who we are. And we got to get back to that point. We got to, break free from that mindset of, we got to comply. No, I'm not going to comply when they bring the masks out. I'm not going to comply when they say you need more shots this fall. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And it's like, that's not who we are as human beings.
As long as our community is willing to do this, and we have a big enough community. Now, we've got people in Illinois, we've got people in Louisiana right there in the swamp that got access to alligator tail. We have people in Florida like myself that's right next to the citrus and all the fish you could possibly. As long as we have a form of communication, we can work this out peer to peer. Are we going to have the lavish lifestyle? Is this what Cliff High said, that there are going to be tougher times? You know what? I still cook in a black skillet, iron skillet. I still do a lot of things the old-fashioned way. I'm okay with that. Are a lot of other people that don't even know how to change a light bulb going to suffer? Yeah. But you know what? It's your choice. You want to go get in the soup line? Go get in the fucking soup line. I mean,
Hey, we invented fire thousands of years ago.
yeah,
Scrub a
that's your
couple of
fucking
rocks
business,
together
dude.
and make your meal. I mean, and so it gets to the point to where what is freedom? What is, what is getting wealthy, in the perspective of some people in this digital age? Wealthy is, oh my gosh, look, I bet on black 36 or red 36. I don't even know. On the roulette table, I got rich. Now I can go buy stuff in the market that they produced. It's like the coal miners in West Virginia, where it's like there's a song about it. It's like I owe my soul to the company store, and that's what it is. I mean, do you want to be
keep
part
going.
of the
I thought you were
company
going to
store?
figure.
No, and that's what it comes down to. It's like you want to be part of the company store to where that's the only outlet that you have, or do you want to build a community, or do you want to have peer-to-peer transactions outside of any institution, outside of anybody else, to where, and you've said it many times, I've said it, and then you reiterated, Javier, to where it's like, if somebody wants to buy my Digibug, the car that I drive around every day, that's my thing, and you say, you know what, hey, I'll give you this many Digibyte for it. It doesn't matter what the price is. It doesn't matter what the dollar price is. You don't have to KYC. It's like, I'll give you this asset. I will give you this asset and say, here, it's yours. Here's the key. Drive off with it. And you send me something of value, and I look at it my phone, and the network
That we agreed on,
of the network of all the energy out there says, here it is. It's not a central bank. It's not a financial institution. It's that network that we've all put faith in because it's worked for 10 years. Litecoin's worked for 12 years. Digibyte 10 years. I mean, it's up to us to decide what the future is. It's not complying and saying, hey, look at my face. Here's my license. Oh, take a picture.
Let's put it real simple, Glenn.
No, that's not what it's about. It's about us making a transaction and exchanging energy between individuals, human beings. It's our right to do that because it's our energy. And then we have to have a network that validates our energy. If we don't we don't start utilizing that, then we're going to be playing in the vampire casino. We're going to be a bunch of white-faced pieces of shit that have no energy. We're emaciated souls, shells of human beings. We're not here what we're born to do. And if we don't break out of that and start doing things that we believe in, because with no consequences, then it's all over.
Let's break it down like this, Clint. And this is really easy. One more thing. I know a carpenter friend of ours that came up and made you stir up a bunch of sand and cement. And you know what?
Yeah.
You chose to say, I'm not going to charge you. I'm just going to do it as a friend.
No,
sweat my ass off and do it. But that's your choice.
Hey,
but it's your choice. It's your choice. What's the difference?
I didn't want to do it. I did it, but I did it because I wanted to give the energy to make things better.
It's because it's your choice to do it. And now he comes and helps you do something else. Isn't that a form of payment? Isn't that a form of payment? That's what I want to do. Close it out, Dave, whatever you want.
I just want to say I've really enjoyed it, but it's like
I know it's late for you.
Yeah, it's late for me, but late, I'm still. It's late, but maybe next time. But yeah,
that's another story. Hey, it's always good to talk to you, Steak.
Well, it is what it is.
That's why you got to get here in person because there's nothing like the energy. Just that vibe, and then you get it. Once you get it, when you're around real people, well, I mean, you get it vicariously, and I mean, you're a very intelligent person, and you get all this stuff. But once you feel that energy, once you feel the energy of the passion of people and of humanity, I mean, that's the most important thing. And so I don't want to dog on Bitcoin maxis, but it's like you guys don't use stuff. I mean, you don't know what it's like to transact and to hold something and then give it away and then receive it, and then you don't understand what the whole ecosystem is. You don't understand the peer-to-peer transaction outside of a central authority, a financial institution, like I just read in the white paper. I mean, you don't get it. And then everybody says, well, you get a KYC.
Well, the first sentence of the white paper already negates Lightning Network.
It's everything.
So, yes, thank you.
So without an intermediary. So
Why
it's
you're
it's
promoting something that's like centralized?
But you
Yeah.
know,
Why?
Clint, let
Anyway,
them
I just
go. You want to go on the Lightning Network? Go. It's your freaking
And I'm
journey.
fine with that. You want to be
If
gay?
you want to go and do
You want
that,
to trans, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna be
I
me.
just
You
wanna
be
I
you.
just wanna thank the three of you. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
thank you, my
Yeah,
brother. That's probably a good
I
time
just
to get
wanted to
the hell
say that.
out.
Yeah, get out
Yeah,
while you
yeah, yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna hit the shack and sleep in my coffin. You know, it
Yeah,
matches with
no.
the Vampire Casino.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I've been resting for about 35 minutes while y'all were just. I was enjoying it. Whatever.
Poor Dave.
Yeah, I
Hey,
saw that
everybody's.
smile in the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
Dave,
left
yeah.
you're in
corner.
the
You
heart
know,
of
so
vampire
Well,
country.
V
I watch the
Chain is having
movies.
fun
New
in
Orleans.
the chat room. So
oh,
it's
is
like,
he? Great.
yeah,
Hi,
V
V-Chain.
Chain
Well,
was
so what
saying, "Oh,
else?
does Blind Dave have anything to say?" And it's like, well, yeah, I do, but I'm just letting them go because the show's already been over 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
I started off.
Go back and rewatch the show. You'll
yeah.
see what I
We're
mean.
like weed eaters. We're two-stroke.
I think we just started with the disclaimer and we just hammered at it for like yeah, we were good energy and we still keep it going. So
Yeah,
it's
we could
great.
go on for hours, but it's a good time to call it quits. I got to go do stuff with the go and
Oh,
eat
really?
and do everything else. So
Okay.
uh,
Well,
yeah,
I don't think this is the last word we've spoken about this. So
No.
yeah.
Right. So, look, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank all of y'all for showing up. Hopefully, next week we'll have a few more surprises for everyone. At least that's the goal, right? So, it's about the information. It's not, my coin is better than yours or any of this nonsense. It's not like that for any of us. Been doing this a while and, just here for the information to share because you go looking around and you just hear a bunch of hype and a bunch of bullshit. And, I would like to, the purpose of this is to beat it up and to thrash it and toss it back and forth between one another. So to hash it out, that's the point here. So anyway, look, I thank all of y'all. I want to, I mean, I just love what it is that we bring. So, I mean, everyone has a different opinion and a different way of coming to the same conclusion. So it's just really special, I think, that we all have come together and just to bring forth the information that we run into, and sometimes most of the time it's very important. And like I said, I go around all over the place and I don't hear any of this kind of interaction anywhere. People just discussing crypto. I don't care if it's VeChain, XRP, XLM, DGB, LTC. Um, I noticed VeChain even brought up Proton, XPR. I don't know. I'm in XPRT, which is persistence. I've seen XPR. I've heard other people within XRP and XLM discuss it, but the issue I have with Proton, and I know I'm trying to sum this up really quickly, though. The issue I take with Proton is that it has absolutely nothing to do with Proton Mail. If it did, then it might interest me. So from that perspective, whatever. I hold several different coins, and I've got several different positions with mud at the wall already. So and in a bear market, I have increased my holdings all the way around. So I don't look. Is it worth mentioning? Sure. But again, it's not my coin is the ultimate coin here. If you have a legitimate thing with Proton, let us aware of it. Anyway, look,
Hop in and let's talk
it's
about it.
been
Let's hash it out.
it's been we're going on damn near 3 hours, and look, I gotta call it. So with that, love you all.
Javier's already out. Yeah.
Go make it a day. Love you.
Yep.
Later.
Love you
Cheers,
all.
Dave. Cheers, Clint.
Trust yourselves.